We be back. We back here. We arrived. We're here again. How's everybody doing?
I am in this location.
Wait, where?
Here, where we are.
Just in here? In this moment? Or like in this location as in just like in this house, in the Horizon house?
Both.
Oh.
But mostly I'm just kind of trying to convey that I'm part of the we that are back and here.
That's perfect. That's what I was looking for.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Every time. Jake, I like the hat, but I feel like I've seen this one before.
Have you? I wasn't sure. I can go get a different one.
No, it's okay.
It doesn't look familiar to me.
It doesn't
I
look
didn't
familiar?
think... I have a lot of similar hats. I didn't think I had done the one with the jubies.
The jubies.
The jubies.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's a fedora style and you don't have many fedora style hats. When you wear a second one, it just seems like it might be the same thing.
That's fair.
I still like it a lot. Doesn't matter.
Cool. As long as you like it. That's all that matters to me, buddy.
Correct. That's all that matters at all. Just that I like it.
Mm-hmm. I'm only doing this for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Appreciate it. And Jux.
I've been up since 7 this morning. Where have you guys been?
Why were you up at 7?
I had to go get my VIN inspection done so that I could actually get a Kansas license.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I didn't realize that getting there early meant getting there late because there was already a line down the street.
Dude, I have found the secret for Missouri, at least. I was told by my next door neighbor to not go to the one down in the plaza. You go all the way up to the one in North Kansas City. And I went in the middle of the day, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There were like 3 people there. In and out, 15 minutes.
VIN inspection?
No, it was to get a driver's license. So I had to do the test.
Oh, okay.
They had to check the eyes. I got the photo, the whole 9 yards, 15 minutes.
Wow.
Huh. Yeah,
Wow.
I haven't gone to DMV yet. No, this was just because this is like the first step that they need, like the VIN, and then you go to DMV.
It was that much of a pain? Because I just went to the one near me, and I just walked in. I was like, I need a VIN inspection. She's like, okay, let me check it out. And she walked in my car. She looked at it. She was done.
Well, you
Kate
are in
went
Missouri.
first.
Wow.
Yeah, Kate went first,
True.
and she took 2 hours. She literally sat in her car for 2 hours. I just went, and I shaved off 30 minutes by getting there at open.
Heck yeah.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Heck yeah. Absolutely. DMV and other state inspection agencies, best places to go, really. If you just want to have a good day, that's
so
where you started
fun.
at. Yeah, absolutely.
So good.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Discord and Signal, a multi-arc Starfinder adventure following the crew of the Indefatigable as they travel through the drift in search of, or merely stumbling upon by accident, a myriad of adventures. Today is episode 33, The Station. I am Aaron, the GM, with the sole responsibility of killing the characters, including Co, played by Alex.
Indeed.
Luna, played by Abe.
Oh.
Twick, played by Caleb.
Oh, that's me.
Lisk, played by Jake.
Hey, yo, what up?
And Cedona 17, guest played by Chad.
Incredible.
Last time on the Discord and Signal, after convincing Evandrian that fighting alongside the Sardat wasn't in the Star Empire's best interest, the PCs fought the Lone Bridge Defender as starships rained down terror upon the asteroid. Several crew members were getting low on health when an attack struck the Sardat that caused him to disappear. Seizing the opportunity, the crew finished off the last Aslanti guard and headed for the Indefatigable. At this point, the surface of the asteroid was being riddled by shots, and several crew members and scientists were injured trying to dodge the incoming explosions. Upon arriving on the ship, Mergelbur assisted the crew in attaching the control harness to the Indefatigable's navigational array before activating the rune drive and warping back to the Pact Worlds. The trip was intense and strange all at once as reality warped around the crew, and immediately after arriving, the rune drive imploded, leaving the Star Runner and the Indefatigable in a race to escape the blast. Poe was on the brink of death after he hit his forehead on the steering console. Sad day. Twick, Cedona, and Lisk failed at multiple tasks while trying to escape the gravity well. And Luna gave a brand new, never-before-used command to engage the rune drive.
Totally
Level 7. Totally original. And level 7!
7.
Should we talk real quick about what you guys have worked up for your level 7 characters? Maybe?
I can go
Sure.
first. I feel like envoys are so boring during level up.
Oh,
Like-
man.
You get more saves, and I guess I'm on 3 quarters BAB.
Mhm.
So +5, which is great. But like, I just got an expertise talent, which is cool. I took Gregarious Mien, which means I can move somebody's attitude towards us 2 steps, or double the amount of steps, basically. Assuming I spend the time doing so.
Man, that would have been helpful during the polyhedron encounter.
Yeah, which is why I took it.
Yeah, very helpful.
I feel like she's learning.
She's getting there. Although at this point, she is known all across the galaxy, right? What is the thing? Like, within 20 minutes, you can find someone who knows you or something?
Yeah, it's only like a DC 5 culture check to know me or something like that.
A DC 5 culture
Something like
check.
that, yeah.
Excellent.
I forget exactly. And then my feat, I took Great Fortitude, because my fortitude stinks, and if we're going to do harder stuff, it's going to need some help.
Well, the truth is, we're moving on to only easier stuff.
Oh, great.
So, you don't have to worry about that at all. Co, how about you?
Sure. I just expanded on my step up feat and took step up and strike. Make that a little bit better. Range people really have to be trying to get away if they're gonna make it now.
Be trying to. What does step up and strike do? You literally step up and get to make an attack?
Yeah, so step up would allow me to move 5 feet. So like if somebody tried to move a guarded step away from me, I would be able to close the distance, and then they would be kind of screwed. Now I can move up to 10 feet, and I can do an attack of opportunity if they move away from me.
Nice. Okay.
I also got, as part of Solarian, flashing strikes, so full attacks are now a -3 instead of a -4.
That's what the Sardat had.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you hit on a couple different full attacks.
What?
Nicely done. How about Lisk? What's Lisk doing?
Actually, I got a lot of stuff, dude. I didn't even realize.
Freaking operatives.
So, trick attack went up by another D8, so now
course.
it's 48. Love that.
48.
48.
Extra every time.
Oh yeah. Operative's edge goes up by 1, so I get +1 basically to all my skills, unless I have skill focus in them already. So that's cool. I've got uncanny agility, which means I'm immune to flat-footed. They don't get bonuses for flanking or attacking when I'm prone, and I'm immune to covering fire and harrying fire.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot
What
in
was
one
that?
ability.
Gosh,
Uncanny agility.
that's really good.
It's insane.
Yeah, I'm not even done, dude. Specialization skill mastery. Whenever I attempt a skill check with something I have skill focus in, which is stealth, I can take 10, even if stress or distractions would normally prevent you from doing so. So you know how I normally have to like roll twice in combat to do my stuff? I think I can just take 10 on it, which is awesome.
I think that's actually the hands down best thing about your level up so far, because
Easily. It's
up
the
until
best.
now,
It's so good.
all of your rolls have been garbage.
Yes.
Because you have to roll twice.
I have to roll
feel like.
twice. I'll only have one good one ever. But now I can probably just roll once.
Now you only ever attack flat-footed targets for the rest of existence.
Oh
I
my
think.
god. So, I mean, there could be someone who's tough enough where taking 10 isn't enough.
I thought taking 10 implied you had to take 10. Like you take 10 minutes to roll a 10.
Normally.
I don't
but-
think in this situation.
Yeah, that's like what it means, but like his skill allows him to take 10 in
Nice.
in combat.
Nice. Okay. Man. Woof. Sick. Is that it? Or there's still
Well,
tons
no,
of other
I did also get a feat.
Jeez.
So I took enhanced resistance specifically to piercing. So I now have 4. Wait, what's our base attack bonus? Is it 5 now? I have 5 piercing resist now.
Nice.
So I don't know if piercing was the right choice, but I did it anyways.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I guess we will.
Wow. Okay. How about Twick?
So for my feet, I picked up Barricade, so I can, as a move action, create a small cover. partial cover, or turn partial cover into normal cover. Not bad. And I got a second field of study, so now I am learning anesthesiology.
What? So since you can't heal anyone, you're just going to put them to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly smart.
Yeah. I mean,
Exactly.
that's a good pickup, I think, for Twick.
Mhm.
The quote-unquote healer of the group.
Mhm.
Nice. Okay, let's see. Last time we ended, an explosion had happened from the rune drive, which sent the Indefatigable hurtling out into space, the deep darkness of space. Everybody blacked out from the explosion. That's right where we left it. And so we're going to pick up right where we left off. The bright lights that you see, they've been blinding you since your eyes first opened. Dozens of medical staff still quickly make their way past the opening in the clear paneled walls that make up the rooms you are currently situated in. The beds aren't uncomfortable, but they were designed to meet the needs of a wide range of species in the Pact Worlds, resulting in a reconfigurable and easy-to-clean padded surface. Wires run from patches on your arms and chest to a set of monitors that are providing more detailed stats than expected. A familiar badge on the far wall reinforces that the medical facility you're currently in is somewhere in the Bastion. And for those of you who don't know, the Bastion is the Stewards' headquarters in Absalom Station. A quick look around reveals that the entire crew is in their own beds, separated by clear paneled walls, except Cedona 17. All of the crew members are hooked up to equipment and separated by a clear set of dividers, of course COVID and all, but otherwise appearing very stable. And you guys have kind of all woken up, maybe at different times. You don't really know what time of day it is. You're still a little bit groggy. You've probably been awake for, we'll say, a couple hours. You can all hear one another, too. At this point, is anybody communicating anything about what has happened? Or is everybody just resting and recovering?
This ain't no narc.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
So we just woke up and we don't know where we are? Or we do?
You kind of have all identified that you're in the Bastion. You have a whole bunch of medical staff that are running around, but you don't, like, no one's really come to talk to you yet. You're kind of just in the room alone. The door is closed. You can see the little emblem on the wall, but that's about all you have. And you have some data readout from the patches that are stuck to you, but there's just a whole bunch of numbers.
Are any of those numbers how many HP I have?
You've all recovered a full HP.
Oh, huge.
Good question, Alex, because I wouldn't have given you that unless somebody asked for it.
And we get level 8?
I went
Yeah.
from 0 stamina, 1 hit point, to 56 stamina, 53 hit points.
Oh my god.
A lot of health. Okay, so I'm just going to assume everybody's just kind of chilling in the beds. Nothing really going on. All right. A little bit more time passes, and the door opens, just kind of slides open, and a familiar face enters the room and asks for the captain by name.
Uh-oh.
Does the captain respond?
Did you ask for Luna or the captain?
The captain, specifically the captain. She says,
Sure.
Where is the captain?
I suppose that's me.
Yes. My name is Di Padre Ivasco. You may remember my name from the message that I originally sent you to send you into the Aslanti Star Empire.
This is her fault? Some nerve.
I think Lisk has a form for you.
Oh, of course. We will collect the forms, of course, yes. Yes. On behalf of the stewards, I would like to offer our deepest thanks for your brave and heroic efforts on both Madeline's Landing and the Aslanti Star Empire. Without your help, we would have lost a decorated member of this organization, and a dear friend, I hear, but also potentially much more. So thank you for that.
All in a day's work. I assume at some point we're going to talk about compensation.
Of course, yes, we'll get to that, yes, of course. Listen, we have already debriefed Cedona, who has informed us of some of what has happened. We are all in your debt. I'm sure you have many questions, which is why I am here to answer. Of course, about compensation, but also Any other questions you may have on behalf of the stewards?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we haven't talked to them, so...
No, and by the way, everyone in this room can hear. She's clearly addressing Luna, but everybody can hear what's going on, because you're all in the same room. You're just separated by small divider walls that are all clear.
Wait, no privacy?
Yeah, what's the point of the walls?
Not in this space. I told you, it's just for
Fucking
COVID.
garbage.
COVID concerns, baby. That's it.
Oh,
Just
boy.
go with.
What do you call a pandemic across multiple planets?
Plandemic.
Plandemic.
No, that's not. That's.
Were you gonna say planned?
I
Pandemic.
was.
So it all
Yikes.
comes to light, huh?
Yikes.
Planetdemic. Solardemic.
Solardemic.
Solademic. I think.
Interstellamic.
Lemic.
Yes,
That's
I like that one.
Interstellamic.
Interstellamic.
Jesus.
Is there anything left of the asteroid?
No, there's nothing left of any of the, really anything inside of the explosion radius. As far as we can tell, the device that detonated at the center of the wreckage area overloaded and somehow collapsed in on itself, causing a massive explosion. Your ship had just passed the blast radius when the detonation occurred, sending you hurtling off into space. Stewards' gunships were dispatched to investigate the area and eliminate any threats, and upon finding you, transported you to the Bastion for medical assistance. You've been here for nearly 3 days. The doctors have indicated that the injuries that each of you sustained was not enough to put you in your coma-like state. Additional scans indicated that something, we weren't sure what, was occurring neurologically that was delaying recovery. And until 2 days ago when Cedona woke, we did not know how or if you would recover from your condition.
Weird.
Tell you what that is. We haven't had a vacation in weeks. Just been work. It's crazy.
I just want to say Uno reverse. It's not Sedona's sleep this time.
Oh,
Also, I probably did sustain enough damage to go into a coma-like state.
Yeah, that's probably true.
What
What
go
about?
ahead.
Who cares about the asteroid? What happened to our ship?
Oh, your ship, of course. Your starship is at Dock 37, where it has been under repair since it was towed to Absalom Station. It sustained critical damage to most systems due to both starship fire and explosions. We expect that it will take another week, at least, to complete repairs. We've hired several starship repair crews from the down low to assist. They are the best in the business, I am told. The stewards will, of course, cover all the repair costs at no cost to you. She touches a few spots on her datapad. I've transmitted the location to you.
And just a quick question about that. Do the
course.
repairmen have like monogrammed spacesuits? We ran into problems earlier.
Any pink spacesuits?
Yeah.
I am not quite certain what you're trying to get at, but most of the repair yards in the down low usually do have uniforms, yes, that people utilize when they are at work.
Just I don't want any unauthorized personnel on my ship.
Of course,
All right.
of course. Yes, it is. Your starship is under constant surveillance, so if you would like to review that at any time, you may do so at your leisure.
I would love that.
Like immediately.
Of course. Yes. She takes her datapad, she touches a couple buttons, she turns it around, and she just hands it to you, Lisk.
Oh, let's immediately looking for bombs.
Like pinch zooming around everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
How much did Cedona tell you about the device?
Well, she told us, informed us of this rune drive device, and I can provide you with the same information that we gave back to her. We have recovered very little from the center of the blast. We know that the device, how it was supposed to work, how it was supposed to operate, based on her information. The general area inside the detonation radius is showing high levels of radioactivity, but is strangely lacking in any physical materials. Scans that indicate that very little inside the blast radius still remains, and therefore, if this device was the genesis of the explosion, it no longer remains. We have recovered fragments of dull gray Aeon stones that don't match the rest of the debris, but do match the description given by Cedona. Nothing that we have recovered matches the description specifically of the rune drive itself, and I doubt that anything will. We did, however, with Cedona's help, recover the data pad that you took on your starship. It still contains all of the data you downloaded from the facility on Orelos. Paxworld scientists are already studying and will continue to be studying the rune drive, the rune drive data under strict steward supervision, and all of you are welcome to provide any assistance that you wish. However, it may be that researchers are never able to crack the science underpinning the device's operation and recreate its reality warping capabilities.
What was the explosion, as far as you could tell, just a standard explosion, or was it
standard explosion?
Was there certain weird chemicals going on, or was it nuclear, or?
Well, we reacted as quickly as we could, but of course, by the time the explosion had occurred, there was yet to be any steward ships in the vicinity. So our readings are only from what we received on Absalom Station, and that appears to be a fairly standard explosion, if you will. Nothing out of the ordinary.
That's what I thought, standard explosion.
The unique part about the explosion, though, is, however, that there remains nothing in an exact sphere around the radius of the explosion itself. It is just empty space that is radioactive.
I mean, most of space is empty.
And radioactive.
Of course. Yes. But this is like highly focused radioactivity with literally no materials in the space at all.
What about the Aslanti ship that was with it? That was with us.
Aslanti ships. Any ship still in the blast radius was clearly instantly vaporized by the blast. You are lucky to be alive. We have found debris from various starships outside of the blast itself. 5 have been identified as Aslanti gunships from both the deceased passengers on board and the data from the computer logs. A potential 6th has been determined to have been of Star Empire design, but all that remains of the ship are hull fragments. She flashes an image of the recovered hull fragments on the screen after she's taken the device back from Lisk. They appear to be sleek green plates with burn marks all over them. The only other items recovered were found in the space surrounding the blast area.
Unless I see a body, I'm going to assume Zolan is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He did a Darth Vader.
He did teleport. Or something.
Yeah.
You guys can all make me a... we'll just make it a culture check. That's easy enough.
I'm not even gonna roll.
Cool,
They've got
sure.
Sure. Of course.
it. Okay.
Yeah,
Well.
I mean, that's about par for the course.
Wow, okay.
Wow.
Well, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm gonna roll that real quick.
21.
21 is still enough. You do recognize that the images that you've gotten from the ship that show the green are the green Aslanti color that you have seen throughout your time at the Star Empire. You also get the sense that this ship does not match the other Aslanti gunships and that it is in fact from the Star Runner itself.
Did we have, were there scientists with us? Did I imagine that? Did I make that up? Is that a coma dream?
Yes, of course, the scientists. Yes. I'm sad to say that not all of them made it.
Oh, no.
One of your cargo bays sustained heavy damage, and it appears that several of the individuals you assisted were pulled into space. The 5 that remain, including Ario, whom I'm told assisted you in your escape, are in stable condition 1 floor down.
The important question, is it the creepy guy that lived and also the, what are they called?
Aslanti?
Just actual
Aslanti,
Aslantis?
yeah.
He is an anti-scientist.
By creepy guy, I assume you mean the Brachim. It is a race we are not familiar with here in the Star Empire. And yes, he has survived. Are there any other questions that you would have me answer before I depart?
I think that's about it. We'll have I'll have Lisk send over an itemized bill, including hazard pay.
course. Yes,
I've been taking notes.
Just take a picture of the receipt and send it off to the group chat.
Yeah.
Of course.
I was also wondering if you have some sort of maybe a note or a journal entry that might point some specific location out to us.
It's quite
Maybe mention a
crazily.
name.
We found a piece of journal floating in space, and it says, "You must go here to start the next AP." Quite incredible.
That'd be perfect if we could just have that.
We do not know what AP means.
There is, in fact, one final request. Before departing the Bastion, could you please meet me on floor 6 for a final debrief? We do have one item of interest that we would like to discuss with you. If you could meet us there before you leave. Would that be acceptable?
Sounds great.
Is that where we'll get our payment?
Of course, yes. We'll talk about the payment when you arrive. Yes, please.
Everybody says no, hops on the ship and leaves.
Okay,
What now, Aaron?
yeah.
I'm curious, like, what would have happened if we were like, we want to be at Absalom Station?
Yeah,
When we come out of the
make
the
Aaron
jump.
deal with Absalom Station just not existing anymore.
Yeah.
And they have shields. And dodge it.
God.
We have shields and we didn't really barely make it out.
But we did make it out.
Somehow, I feel like we
It could have
skin
been.
of our teeth. I feel.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are kind of in there. She departs and is headed out with the expectation you're going to meet her at some point here after you've fully recovered. A few, some moments pass, and then Cedona walks through the door into the recovery room wearing a steward's dress uniform. You guys are all clearly happy to see the face of your friend once again, and Cedona says the following.
Friends, glad to see you are doing better. Only with a crew like yours could we have pulled that off. I'm sure that a representative from the steward had already said this, but thank you for rescuing me, and thank you for your assistance with the rune drive. There's no telling what future could have held had Uluvestra been able to reverse engineer the drive.
Just true.
I think it's a little bit of a stretch with a crew like yours. Just throwing it out there.
Well, I
Maybe get
think
a
most
healer
other
that
crews
actually
probably would
heals.
have just most other crews probably could have brought it out in one piece, maybe not done
Maybe.
a big
Yeah.
explosion immediately. That was definitely us. That's our style,
Living on the edge.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You guys, your style is to just make sure it blows up. You're just living on
Yeah.
the edge, not really worried about the repercussions of anything you're really doing. You're just flying, baby. Next
Remember-
task.
Remember the prison? Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know how it could have been more our style. We teleported halfway across the universe and then exploded immediately and almost died in our own explosion. Perfect.
It's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. You guys spend some time talking with Cedona about her debrief. You spend some time talking with her about what she's been doing for the past 2 days, and just reconnecting. You've clearly been out of it, gone. Didn't know what had happened when you woke up, so seeing her was just good for everyone's spirits. Sedona clearly appears like she needs to depart, and before she does, because she's clearly in her steward's dress uniform, looks like she may be headed to a meeting or something. Before she departs, she does note one more thing. And sorry, Chad, this is very long.
One more thing?
Yeah.
One more thing. One more thing.
I have to get back to my debrief. I didn't want to leave you empty-handed. After all, I owe you my life. I spent the last 2 days working on a few items for you. First, your starship. The message you found on the datapad in your ship mentioned coordinates to a cave near Wrecker's Field on Apostae. When Maz told me that was where Sindiri had brought it, I never believed him. But it turns out he was telling the truth. Incredible. Regardless,
Sorry, it got me.
knowing where to go is one thing. Getting there is an entirely While Apostae is an official Pact Worlds planet, getting there without any official paperwork will prove incredibly difficult.
Tossing the Incredibles in there, huh?
I knew it would make you crack up. I had to put him in there.
Usually access to the planet, especially locations outside the capital, requires either diplomatic or security needs. I've already discussed this need with Major Vesco. She has begun working with one of our senior advisors on Apostae about how we could get you there. I expect that she will have already looked into that by the time you debrief. Hopefully there is a solution. Second, a well-deserved thank you. I've asked
Okay, this one's hard.
Constabulary
Constabulary.
directors okay, to authorize me to provide you with something money can't really buy. Wink. You deserve more than Major Vesco himself. Promise for you to coming to my rescue. While credits are great, some well-deserved R&R will feel even better. A new resort is having a grand opening in about a week, and several tickets were provided to the stewards that will otherwise go unused.
Each episode.
You should expect to see an invite in the next few days. Please take the time to relax. We'll reconnect afterwards. Until next time, friends, it has been an honor.
And Cedona will head out the door. And this is where we will depart with Chad for a while.
Oh no.
You know what's funny? You introduced him as a guest, and I was like, man, it's been so long. Like, at what point is he no longer a guest? And I guess it's now. I guess now is that point.
Yeah.
Yo,
I watched one of the earlier videos and I was like, man, it's weird. There's only 5 of us in here.
I know. I know, it's wild. It's wild. It has been,
It's been
since
so long.
I think episode 24 is when Chad started playing Cedona. It's been a minute.
yeah, we were just looking through that because there's a guy commenting on all of our YouTube videos. Little fan there.
Oh
Nice.
Dude, we have a fan? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Now we can say we love our fans.
Well, we
do.
can say we love our fan.
Yeah. All right.
We do.
well,
Chad, thanks for playing the
Sniffles.
last, 8-9 sessions with us. It was good.
Not only 9 sessions.
Yeah, I know.
A long
It's
session.
It's just been really stretched out.
been a slog,
Oh,
man.
boy.
It's been a slog.
Yeah.
But
I
it was
forgot
good.
to level up my character, and didn't matter.
Yeah, I guess that works out.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just be glad you didn't have to go through the breaking you out of prison part with us.
Oh my god.
Woo!
That was a nightmare.
That was
That was
brutal,
fun.
man. Brutal. We will probably see more Cedona in the future, so don't forget everything you've accomplished in these 9
Spoilers.
episodes, Chad.
Luna's gonna look up the resort.
Okay.
Bye,
Sounds
Chad.
Roll me a quick culture check.
He's good at these.
Ooh,
I know,
tour.
he is good at these.
Oh,
Hey!
yeah. There it is. 35.
Hold on, let me pull up this one sheet because apparently I didn't have it pulled up. What was your roll? 35. Jeez. All right, fine.
Been there before.
Yeah. they
Built
weren't even
the
open the
place.
first time, and you were there. Ba-ba-ba-ba. All right, what you know about this place is a company known as Paradise Resorts has built a vacation area where the rich can be pampered while experiencing the diaspora up close. The diaspora is the asteroid belt in the Pact Worlds. This resort is called New Elysium.
Playing it all.
Is that the same company as the guys we found in that cave where Alex ate that bug? I know that's a weird way to describe them, but that's all I remember about that scenario.
I don't believe it was the same company.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
There
you
were
are-
2 guys in a cave who were like, yeah, we're looking for like resort locations. It was like, wow, that's weird that you're here. And then Alex ate a bug and we left.
You are thinking of Kishrik and Oh gosh. Yeah, it was Kishrick and what was that other guy's name? Chatterbug? I think it was Chatterbug.
Oh, I think that's right.
There is another resort building company called Focus Point Escapes.
That's right.
So there's 2 different resort building companies in these 2 APs.
You know that the Focus Point Escapes company recently sent, like the guy you met, Kishrick, who's Sheeran, to Nakondas, and he had told you that he was scouting a new potential resort location near the Blue Tin Range.
Okay, all right.
Good memory. Wow.
I was just checking.
I had to go pull that back out of note. Like I was just like, where in the world do I have that information?
It stuck with me because I was like, why in the fuck are there resort people in a cave here? Like, what's happening?
Just hiding out.
Okay, alright. Liska's just sitting there quietly counting under his breath the number of potential bombs he sees on the ship. He's up to 13 now.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yeah,
Lucky
he's very paranoid.
13.
You blow up a ship one time. No trust.
It happens. I wouldn't be trustworthy, or I wouldn't trust it either, of any mechanic working on my ship at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you guys discussing anything else while you're in the medical area? Medical bay?
So, I mean, I guess, what was the other thing Cedona told us? That he was trying to sort out passage to this ship?
Yeah.
And I can kind of reread this too. So if you remember, the message you got from the guy on the data pad was to go to a set of coordinates near the Wreckers Field, which is near the Breaklands in Apostae. And you guys looked that up, and you know that Apostae is one of the planets that is furthest from the sun in the Pact World system. Cedona mentioned that knowing... Yeah. Cedona mentioned that knowing where to go on that planet is one thing, but getting there is entirely another, because while Apostae is an official Pact Worlds planet, getting there without any official paperwork of some kind would prove incredibly difficult. So access to the planet is usually restricted to diplomatic or security needs. And I'm pretty sure we looked this up last time, but if you would like, I can just have you roll a culture check on this. Yeah, let's just do that. Just roll me another culture. Let's just do another culture check, because we know you're going to make it anyways.
Do we?
Oh, yeah. Done. Fine. 22. It's easy. You know that that Apostae is mostly governed by drow houses. Drow, however you say that. Drow?
Yeah.
Who's
Drow?
Drow houses?
I think they're
Drow?
both correct. I think they're both correct.
Is it drow or is it drow?
I know.
I've always said Drow, but Drow houses sounds like one guy. I imagine he's like
Good
the
old
mafia
Drow
boss. Drow houses.
Yeah.
Sedona also said that Major Afosco was working with maybe one of the senior advisors on Apostae about how they could potentially get you there.
Okay.
I know how we can get us there.
Oh, yeah?
Same way
Do
we
you?
get everywhere. Yeah, we fly there.
We teleport
Fly
the next
broken sky.
road there.
Yep.
And we
Teleport
think,
explosion.
we think there's some potential ship upgrading that could happen there.
You don't
Yeah,
know.
this-
If you guys I don't know if you guys went back and watched the video of the recording, but the guy basically says if you ever wanted to realize the fulfillment
That's
of his
right.
vision,
That's right. Yeah.
you would go to this place, and that you would be the only ones who would know that it exists because you have the ship.
All right. I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
The
Yeah.
Indefatigable.
Indefatigable.
Bereft.
That's right.
Bereft Indefatigable.
Bereft.
It's hard to say, huh?
Yeah, it is. Bereft Indefatigable. Tongue
I'm
twister.
just gonna go with the beef fatty.
Yeah, the beef. Beef patty. How's that work?
So are they just like pull a fast one and be like, oh, we don't need to give you credits because we're giving you this cool vacation?
Well, if you want, you can go talk to Major Avosco right now if you feel recovered enough, and we can go down that road. Otherwise, if you want to discuss anything amongst yourselves before you leave, you can do that too. It doesn't matter to me.
Hey, you got that? You got those numbers worked out, Lisk?
The number of bombs.
The overtime and hazard pay.
I
Oh,
could
yeah.
pay you for your effort, but what if I gave you this cool timeshare?
I think they owe us about 5 million credits each.
That's about right.
That's- I feel like they're not gonna give us that. It's just a guess.
We just need a good starting number.
The
Do you
cost
think-
for breaking somebody out of a highly secure prison in enemy space has to be astronomical.
They're not gonna make us pay for the rune drive, though, are they? that was a little.
Well,
bit...
it wasn't theirs, so why
That's
would they?
true. It was probably insured, right? Why would you have a rune drive and not insure it? That's crazy.
I don't know who would insure it. It seems like a bad investment.
Geico. You know.
Geico somehow exists
Yeah.
in this universe.
It's just a very small desk.
He's got a screen reap that he uses for all of his commercials.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say you guys spend a couple more hours gathering up your stuff, and you will depart from where you're at. The medical staff come in, they unplug everything from you, check you out, make sure you look good, and you leave. You make your way up to the 6th floor, where Major Ivasco is waiting on you. And she says, welcome. As I previously mentioned, here is your promised 5,000 credit per person payment for your... I'm trying to think of how she would phrase it. Expeditions in the Atlantis-Star Empire. I hope that this will be enough to convince you to not communicate this to anyone outside of the Stewards. As far as we are aware, no one outside of you knows what happened in the Atlantis-Star Empire at Aurelos. If all of the ships that surrounded the asteroid were destroyed, as Cedona has described to us, and you transported the asteroid back with everyone who was in the asteroid to the space here, then there is no one still alive that would have any reference to what happened in the Atlantis-Star Empire.
That sounds pretty good for us.
Unless there is someone you can think of. Can you think of anyone who might know about what happened in the Atlantis-Star Empire?
It's just I didn't know there'd be a test.
Okay. Well, if it comes to your mind, please feel free. Oh, what? Yes. What?
Never mind. I couldn't.
Okay, it's back there. It's spinning. I understand you were asleep for a long time. It may be difficult to, regenerate some of that information.
Why don't you want anybody to know about this?
Because diplomacy with the Atlantis-Star Empire, as I'm sure you are aware, is non-existent. And should members of the Pact World's planets or the Vescarium find out what happened in the Atlantis-Star Empire, or should the Atlantis-Star Empire find out that people from the Pact Worlds were involved, then we could face something that we do not want to face. Granted, the Atlantis-Star Empire no longer has the rune drive, so they cannot reverse engineer, and of course, with everything that is going on with the drift at this time, it is unlikely we will see any starships from the Atlantis-Star Empire into the Pact World space, but nonetheless, it is good that we make sure that this information is kept private and not shared with any citizens of the Pact Worlds.
Is the drift still messed up?
Yes, I realize now. You have not been in the Pact Worlds for some time. And you did not travel here by drift. A few days ago, actually over a week ago now, the drift broke. No one really knows what happened specifically, but only some drift traversal is possible at this moment in time. Most drift travel just does not engage. It's almost as if ships are unable to find any drift beacons, and when entering the drift, they immediately exit, or they exit somewhere unanticipated. So almost all drift travel for personnel of the Pact Worlds has been restricted, and so standard flights between all of the planets is currently how business is being transacted in the Pact Worlds. No one knows specifically what is going on with the drift, but it is preventing anyone from traveling as you normally would long distances.
That timeline match up with when it was acting up in Aslan space?
To you, it sounds like what happened when you were in Atlantis space seems more recent. But you can't really, you don't know for certain. She said sometime around a week. You kind of imagine it was just a couple days ago, sort of thing.
Is it
We've also
is it
been
the
asleep.
day?
Days.
Yeah, I mean, is it the day that we think it is? What day is it?
Well, she would give... What day is it? She would give you a
what
date
year is it?
that... She would give you a date that doesn't really match up with what day you think it should be.
Okay.
Oh my god.
By how long?
A couple days.
Okay.
You seem to be a couple
we lost
days
a couple days.
further. Yeah. And she says, she'll say, I noticed that this is confusing you. Cedona mentioned this as well, and as far as we can tell, the day that you arrived in the Pact World system is not the same day that you departed from the Atlantis Star Empire. Your starship recorded nearly 30 hours worth of data in transit, though none of it is necessarily useful. It's just raw data that shows nothing. It's just almost empty blank tapes.
Going back to the information getting out, what would you do if somebody did have information
Well, of course,
and
in
was alive
the
somewhere?
Stewards, we have means of handling such individuals who would share information outside of their purview. One of which is, of course, Overwatch, which is our special ops branch. We have this process of course, disappear. Never mind, it's not important. What is important is things should not get out of the Bastion. This, for security reasons, we must make sure that this information stays inside the Bastion and kept safe from any prying ears.
And if there is somebody in the Atlantis Star Empire in that sort of sector of space?
In the Atlantis Star Empire, Do you know of someone in the Atlantis Star Empire
It's
who may
just
know
a
of what happened
hypothetical,
under... Okay,
hypothetical
yes.
situation.
Of course. Well, it would be hard to prove for them in the Atlantis Star Empire, wouldn't it? There is no... As far as we can tell, based on the size of the bubble and where Cedona described your ship being on the surface of the asteroid, of course, in relation to how far down the science labs were on Aurelos, it's unlikely that there is any information at all in the asteroid field in Nice. So it would be unlikely, very difficult to prove that would have happened in the Atlantis Star Empire. Most likely, if anyone knows and they were to tell someone there, they would just be branded a crazy person, because it is almost unbelievable.
Great, so it doesn't matter if that happened then.
This person doesn't have to be happen to be very high up in rank or anything, right? Like, they would be very believable, where that could potentially cause an additional problem, or is this like a low level individual who would be sharing this type of information?
I mean, there's no individual, but if there was an individual, they'd probably be pretty high up, if I had to guess.
It probably, well, I don't think there's anything we can do from here, so we'll just hope and pray that they are
That'd be fine then. It'd
smart
totally be
enough
fine.
to keep their mouths shut. Yes.
Okay. There might be somebody.
Wait, so there is somebody in this star?
Nah, I mean, there might be, but it's because you can't do anything anyway, so it's okay.
All right. Well, Cedona didn't mention anyone in the Star Empire who would potentially have escaped, so I will ask her about it one more time and mention that you're co, right? Yes.
Some people might call me that.
Okay, I will mention to Cedona that you mentioned that there may be someone in the Star Empire who may have this information who may have left the asteroid, and we will ask her if she knows of anything, and maybe it will jog her memory, that someone else may have heard of this as well.
Sounds good.
Anyway, I previously mentioned to you there is one item of interest that we found in one of your cargo bays on your ship. She motions to the clear paneled room that you guys have all been standing in front of but not looking in, where you see the charred body of Sardat Zolan Ulavestra lying on a medical bed.
Oh.
Hey, we got a
Wires
body.
and tubes running to equipment all over the room. Cedona has already identified him as the individual that tortured her. He was found at the back of your ship in much worse condition than anyone else was. He is currently in a medically induced coma until we figure out what we should do with him, and of course he must recover first as well. He is lucky to be alive.
Wait, he was on our ship?
Yes, he was in your cargo hold.
Am I thinking of the right guy? The guy, Darth Vader guy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What the
Was he in the
Must have,
same cargo hold where all the people got ejected? That one?
No, he was
The
in a
damaged
different.
one?
He was in a different cargo hold. Yes.
Yeah, we got so
I mean,
many
he must have
cargo.
escape podded from his ship before it got destroyed.
Our best guess is that this piece of equipment is what transported him to your ship. And she turns over and she points at this thing that you recognize as the vest that Sardat Zolan Ulvestra was wearing when you fought him.
Oh,
She says, our scientists have determined that it is of ancient Aslanti design and has a unique mechanism for protecting its wearer. Once per day, when its wearer is reduced to very low hit points, let's say approximately 15,
oh, we were so close.
whisks them away to a spot they visualize as if they were targeted with a dimension door spell.
That seems like a pretty sick piece of tech.
We almost
It
killed
is.
him.
It is. Our scientists will be studying it again once we take it back to them.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
cool.
we knew about this. This is the ceremonial armor
Oh!
of
We did know about that.
Amiandria.
Amiandria. That's
You
right,
said it's
yeah.
a vest?
It is like here, let me show you what he looks like again so you can
I'm
I
just
can
I'm just
see it.
imagining like what is it, TGI Fridays where the vest with all the buttons on it? That's what I'm imagining. Like he had full armor and then that over top of it.
I was thinking like a lightsaber, or not lightsaber, a laser tag. Like,
Ooh, yours is better. I like that. Yeah, with the big glowing spot.
yeah.
Like shoulder pads that you target.
Whenever you hit them, it just flashes. Makes a noise.
Do it too much, the whole thing flashes rapidly and then it disappears.
Why can I not find
And the
this?
tough thing is it does make them invulnerable for a few seconds.
Yeah. Shields up.
Why can I not find him? Well, anyway, it just looks like it's like a green vest shape piece that he wore over the top of his purple robes.
Are you
Okay.
sure you need to take that back to your scientists? Maybe there could be
Okay.
uses for it out in the field.
It is very important that we research exactly how this techno-magical device works. It is possible that at some point in the future, maybe we could test it out on some combat, if you would be interested. Is that
Yeah.
what you mentioned? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I could field test it for you.
A field testing, of course, yes. Yeah, we could potentially work something out for this, of course, yes. This is what the Sardat looks like, by the way.
Oh, there he is.
Oh,
It is like the laser.
it is a little bit like a laser tag vest.
You mentioned it was on our ship, correct?
Yes. Wait, what? Say that again. I mentioned
You-
he was
you
on your
found-
ship?
Yes, him on
Yes, he was
Our-
on your ship.
our ship.
Of correct,
as-
yes.
Our prisoner, right? Guys, right?
Prisoner.
Oh, yes, because we captured him.
We beat him pretty bad. He begged for forgiveness.
Yes. Sedona did mention that you would in fact make up some stories to potentially get your hands on this technology. That it's all in jest, of course. Yes, of course. No, I do know that he was in fact not on your ship. That he was in the Star Runner. He must have transported there, of course. If you would have defeated him during the final combat, you would potentially have this device, and we would not even know that it existed. And it would be yours, but of course you.
Well, I
did
mean,
not.
it was on our ship, so it's.
It does
It was
feel like
ours-
finders
it's ours,
keepers.
you know?
Yes,
a little bit.
we could have left you to die, and then it would technically be ours because it would be at that point Stewards' property. But we would never do such a thing.
We had
All
a
in
doctor on
jest,
board.
of course.
He probably
all in
would have
jest.
been fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, yes, we will maybe look at providing this to you at some point in the future if you might be interested.
How long in the future?
It's really hard to tell. I mean, scientists, you know how they are. Sometimes they take a long time, and sometimes the research is very, very quick.
You think that we could go to this resort, hang out for a bit, beach party, come back, and then we could get it?
Yes, potentially. I mean, that maybe even sooner than that. We will see. Again, it depends on how the research goes. It could be sooner, it could be later, it could be never. Honestly, if we don't figure out how the device works, our scientists maybe just be working on it forever, and then of course we won't be field testing it. But we will tell you as soon as we find out if we are ready for field testing. Is that will this suffice? Yes? No?
I'm not happy about it.
Well, yeah, okay. I understand. It's a cool piece of technology, but anyways.
He's not happy about a lot of stuff. It's fine.
This is true.
This is true. Oh, yes, one more thing. Cedona asked for me to look into cover for you to get to Apostae. This is a...
Like soft cover or like full cover?
Well, improved cover, really. Maybe even total cover. It kind of depends. This is a most unusual request. But considering that you did just save the Pact World from potentially dangerous escalation with the Aslanti Star Empire, yada yada yada, I have been working with one of our senior advisors on the Apostae who has just put together a potential plan for you. That would be Venture Captain Naiaj. If you would like to speak with her about going to Apostae, she will meet you on the 8th floor at the Stereopticon Chamber.
Sounds like a plan.
Do you have any other questions for me?
Oh, just this. And this is gonna hand her the signed document from planet number 1. It's a little wrinkled and scorched.
There's a blood spot right there.
Yeah, coffee ring.
Thank you. She just kind of like grabs it and then sets it down on the table gently. Thank you, but thank you. Yes, of course. Yes.
That's another delivery well done. Good job, boys.
I think you mean to turn this over to
Nope,
Abadar
you
Corp?
took it. It's out of my hands now. If you didn't want it, you shouldn't have taken it. I don't know.
Yes, of course. We will take care of this. Yes, at no cost to you. Of course. Anyways, please feel free to return back to the Bastion at any point at your convenience. As after all, we did make you temporary stewards while you were traveling to the Aslanti Star Empire. If you would like to continue that, your training, we could turn you into real full-time stewards. If that would be something of your interest, you may return at any time to complete that task.
Got it. One more question.
Of course, yes.
What,
of course.
What are you gonna do with Mr. Ulavestra in there?
It is a good question. He has a long road to recovery ahead of him. He has sustained severe burns on most of his body. He is currently missing both a leg and part of his arm.
I was about to ask.
Yeah. He's in no shape to recover anytime soon. And when he does wake, well, we don't know exactly what we will do. It's not like we can turn him back over to the Aslanti Star Empire because, of course, he has all of this information that would be detrimental to both our cause and yours and could result in something that we do never want to see in the Pact Worlds, which would be a war with the Star Empire itself. So we do not know. The directors and I will be discussing potential options. Of course, if you would like to for us to keep you informed, we would be more than happy to do so, as you were the ones who brought him here in the first place.
Yeah, that would be great. And if you just let us know, maybe if he escapes or maybe swears vengeance on anyone, maybe you let us know then too, because it's probably us.
Of course, yes. We will make sure that he does not, even if he may swear vengeance, we will not be able to achieve vengeance. We will prevent him from doing so, at least while he is here at the Bastion. And we'll make sure that his potential for escape is completely countered as well, that there is no possibility of that happening.
Just so you know, I don't really know how that stuff works, but he can summon a magic energy light sword. I think he can just do that all the time. So I don't know, maybe don't let him do that.
Yes. Solarians, of course. Yes. Well, there's no real
really
way
cool, right?
to prevent a Solarian from summoning their weapon. Of course, they have a moat that is bound to them. But we will do everything we can to make sure that he is not able to use such a device. We have been looking into some suppressing fields and other ways of preventing that from happening. Hopefully.
You said he was missing an arm?
Yeah, yes, of course, yes.
No way.
Are you sure he wasn't missing 2 arms?
Well, not yet. Wink,
Maybe. Wink,
That's the
wink.
correct number of limbs to be missing.
No, I think we will be putting him in the device where he cannot utilize his right hand for the time being. So using a Solarian weapon will be difficult, if not impossible, at this time.
So he still has his right hand? That doesn't line up. Alright.
He wasn't that tough anyway, so you know.
Yeah.
We had the high ground. It was his own fault.
This is true. She looks back over and she goes, "Oh, yep, I got it wrong. He doesn't have his left hand. If you look in there, he's flipped over. He's on his face right now."
We're
so-
looking at him in Demia.
Yes. It makes sense, of course. Yes, his left hand. Yes.
I was
We have
pretty sure
attached
I
some
chopped
devices
him
to
in
his
half.
chest as well. If you were to go in, you'd hear his breathing. It's quite strange, but do not be afraid by it. It will be fine. We will keep him here, locked up for the time being. We'll keep you apprised.
All right. That's great.
Okay. Please, again, as I've mentioned, one, go see Adventure Captain Naiaj, and of course, if you ever have any questions about what is going on here at the Bastion, either in research on the Rune Drive, the Vest, or, of course, the Sardat himself, please feel free to contact us or come back to the Bastion, where we will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. We, on behalf of the Stewards, we thank you again for all of your brave actions while you were in the Atlantis Star Empire.
Yeah, you got it, dude.
Okay, she will bow and just kind of turn around and get back to work.
All right, how much did we get paid?
5,000 credits each.
Lisk is there frantically redoing his calculations. Okay, I added a few zeros. That's probably fine.
You also are getting your ship fully paid for in terms of repairs.
Let's go.
Good.
Which I'm sure it needed a lot after that
Mm-hmm.
terrible
You know, they say
escape.
it needed a lot of repairs, but like, I think that's kind of just how our ship is, you know?
I mean,
It's
I
just
know we
constantly
slammed
in need of
into
repairs.
multiple asteroids on the way out.
I
so-
imagine it's in my mind. Our ship is always like just barely working. Like
Duct
every
tape.
time we get in there, Liska's just like frantically hitting stuff with wrenches. Like, oh yeah, no, it runs. This is great.
Totally
It's
runs.
fine.
Totally runs. Totally.
It's like the super cool secret ship. Life's work of man. It has to be great.
I think it's good in other aspects of its life. Maybe it has a great personality. You know.
It does have a good personality. For sure. Okay, what would you guys like to do? You are free to leave the Bastion. There's a couple things that are of interest probably to you. Oh, first of all, let me go ahead and show you this. This is Absalom Station. I don't know why that's displaying weirdly. For the observer. Hold on.
That's
This
cool.
is this is Absalom Station, where the Bastion is at. Is currently indicated. This is actually a map that I used for the other campaign because they were on Absalom Station quite often.
Oh, do we run into him?
They're not here right now.
Damn it. We'll wait.
A couple of things you do note. So, like, as you're kind of in and around, you're walking around. There's multiple things that are going on at Absalom Station. Thank you, Alex. Multiple things that are going on at Absalom Station for both in and around the Bastion itself. One of which is there's multiple screens that are playing some things that have been going on recently. You see a lot of information about how the Pact Worlds is experiencing serious issues with transport of delivered goods to and from worlds due to the drift crisis. You also see there's still information from interviews that were had with people who met members of this infamous group called the Drift Rock 5. You guys don't know anything about them, but you get the sense that they're pretty big celebrities around here. And you're seeing some interviews with people who are a part of that group. You see on the screen, there's one guy specifically that's been popping up. His name is Sharp Eye Shink. He was recently interviewed for his interaction with one of the members of the Drift Rock 5. Also, you are on one of the biggest establishments in the Pact Worlds. So anywhere you would need to go shop, find anything you need, buy items. I know you guys have been starved for item purchases ever since this campaign began. No more.
Man, I
This is the
literally have
place.
not. I've I just stopped looking.
Yeah.
Boy.
Okay, I don't know how much in credits you guys have, but I would assume plenty at this point if you need to
at
go buy
least
things.
5,000.
Yeah, and we can, if you would like, we can just kind of retroactively let you guys buy before next session.
Yeah, that would
so
be
you can
great.
Take some
I'm
time
gonna
to look
need-
at some stuff.
I was gonna say I'm gonna need a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's a lot to look through.
Yeah. We gotta fix up the spreadsheet too. Figure out what we can sell.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't actually have that much, huh? Other than what we just got.
Most of it is 0 on the spreadsheet right now.
Oh. Yeah.
So gotta go through and put prices in.
Yeah.
They'll give us a bit more.
Mhm.
I know I probably need armor.
Quite possibly.
I'll be looking
Okay.
into that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, just-
we'll
Yeah,
Get that
just take
next
some
time.
time and look at it so that next time we can talk about some things you guys might have purchased.
for sure.
In the meantime, what would you like to do?
I heard there's a really cool museum on this station. Probably want to check that out.
I heard that's never open.
It's not open to people who aren't members of the Starfinders.
Feels like we found a bunch of stars. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Well, if you
Let's
want,
just
we can
gonna
just...
look up.
Go
Sorry.
ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna look up how much. I keep forgetting the organization's name. The
Stewards?
people who work here,
The stewards.
the stewards, how much they make.
Oh,
Mhm.
You know, compensation, benefits, all that good stuff. Do they get dental?
they get all of the things and more.
Wow,
This we'll find.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, they are one of the most well-funded organizations in the Pact Worlds.
Wow, but there is a transportation crisis, so I don't know. We'll figure it out after the vacation.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. What else?
Should we
What
go-
else do you guys want to do? Or do you just want to go talk to this lady? It's up to you.
Yeah, we'll go.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you guys make your way up to the 8th floor. 8th floor? I think that's what I said. 8th floor? Yeah, 8th floor. Venture Captain Naiaj, as you walk in, is watching a map holographically projected onto the spherical wall of the dimly lit chamber. This meeting room is aptly named the Stereopticon Chamber and hosts various important strategic meetings for the stewards. The pale bleachling gnome slightly nods a greeting, hardly looking away from the stellar map. The stewards thank you for your service at Nacondas, she says as she finally turns away from the map. Your quick work of the invading force, whoever they were, saved countless lives. I presume you're the ones from Floor 6, correct? You look just like the images that I was given from Major Ivosco.
That's us.
Us.
Ah, yes. Well, you put your lives on the line and your bravery was second to none. It is an honor to meet you.
You said she was a bleachling?
Yeah, bleachling gnome.
Yikes. Rough.
And I will show you what she looks like. Maybe. If I can find it. What happened to my notes? Man, they just like exploded. Don't know.
You left him in the center of the rune traffic.
Classic.
Hold on, let me just make this one real quick, and then I'll show you. Image. This is what she looks like.
Oh, so angry.
Yeah.
Your quick work of the invading force, again, as I said, whoever they were, saved countless lives. You put your lives on the line, and your bravery was second to none. It is an honor to meet you. Now, I understand your business here today is personal, and you've asked for our assistance to get you to, well, a rather dangerous part of the Pact Worlds. Not a request commonly fulfilled by the stewards. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Sounds correct.
Everybody's nodding. Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Excellent. Yes, of course. She momentarily turns to face the map and makes a request of a stereopticon. Steri, show me the Naiaj. The map on the world zooms into one of the outermost planets of the Pact Worlds, showing a gloomy, air-sealed settlement on the small gray planetoid identified as Apostae. And let me show you what the map looks like real quick so you can see that. You guys are currently on Absalom Station, which is over here. And Apostae, which literally cannot be seen by this map for some reason, is like way up here. All right, now you should be able to pan a little bit and see it. It's way up there. So the map on the world zooms in and to this planetoid Apostae, and she says, after calling in a favor and holding lengthy negotiations, we managed to secure a deal with the Drow, the ones of Apostae, to allow 4 stewards to enter under the guise of a manhunt. House Rycast has been informed that a particularly dangerous member of society has made his way to the Wrecker's Field, and that the stewards are sending in a response team to capture or kill him. This dangerous member, she air quotes, is of course a cover, but you would not make it out of Naiaj otherwise. The drow of the major houses severely limit any outsiders from traversing across the surface or exploring the interior of Apostae. The fugitive's name is of course Sendri Oithskeller. He is a Kasathan technomancer responsible for the deaths of hundreds on a mining outpost in the diaspora. Here are the details. She presses a button on the console at the center of the room, and all of your data pads chime to indicate a transfer data completion. She continues. We have built a robust footprint on the infosphere to confirm the identity should it come under question. We met with several members of House Rycast and House Zizere to secure both transport and safe passage while on Apostae. I personally oversaw negotiations as I am one of the most senior negotiators with the stewards. Does this all sound good so far?
Well, it's quite elaborate.
Well, again, as previously mentioned, it is very difficult to get onto Apostae without diplomatic or capital-related inquiries, and documentation is difficult to provide, so our best method of getting you there is to provide a cover that is under the guise of the stewards. Our plan is to send you into Naiaj, the Drow's surface settlement on Apostae, where you will meet with a representative of House Zizere named Serobon. He has indicated that his house will provide safe passage to the Wrecker's Field, and they will set up a meeting with Dylanistra Rycast, a representative of the house. Naiaj pauses briefly, staring blankly at the map on the wall before continuing. As you may have heard, the inter-house politics of the Drow are lethal and treacherous, and you will find only trouble if you do not maintain your cover. We do not deal with House Rycast regularly, and therefore our intelligence is severely limited. I suggest you be diligent and watchful while outside the capital city. As you are traveling as stewards, official transport will be required, and you will not be able to fly your ship. I've heard it's damaged anyways, so this will provide you transport to get there. Your shuttle is ready whenever you are, so I expect you to get your things and get going as soon as possible. We do not want to delay this timing and to get into Apostae before questions are asked about Sendri Oithskeller.
So how elaborate is this scheme? Are we actually coming back with someone?
There is no one to bring back, so you'll have to find your own way off the planet. Of course, there is no Sendri Oithskeller. You can say that you killed him. Maybe his body fell down a ravine, you burned it. Whatever you decide, just make sure that you come back. You could provide some sort of data if you would like. We could potentially put together some sort of digital footprint on a data pad that would look like maybe it was him, and that it belonged to him, and when you bring it back, it would provide you some sort of cover. But providing an actual individual would be too difficult.
Alright, well, we'll probably just end up shooting our way out, so...
And blowing things up, I hear.
We are really good at that. in our defense.
Of course, of course. Listen, if you have any questions about this trip other than that, now is the time to ask, as communications are, well, under disarray since the drift has collapsed. Not that communications don't happen, but they happen much slower now, because normally communications travel through the drift, and of course, because of the drift crisis, communications are having to be sent over normal airwaves, which takes some time.
Yeah, what's the travel time, and then what's the communication time?
So the travel time would be...
Like, are we in a bad orbit? Like, are we on the wrong side of the sun?
It will take you, lowest roll I could possibly roll. It'll take you 2 days to get there. Travel time, or that's like travel time from here to Apostae. Messaging time is going to basically take the same amount of time as it would to travel that distance. So if you're halfway there, your messaging time is going to take a day back and forth. That is the best possible roll you guys could have gotten. 1d6 plus 1. I rolled a 2.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't think I can think of anything else.
Huh?
Do you need to know anything about Naiaj or Apostae itself or the drow houses that I mentioned?
Nah. I mean, I guess that'd be good, right?
I am, after all, the foremost expert and the senior advisor for Apostae in both, a constant communicator with the drow houses. So if there's something you need to know, I am the person to ask.
Actually, I have a really important question
Of
for you.
course, yes, what?
Where can we get a drink on Apostae? Is there like a bar that you know
There's
about?
plenty
Like
of
a good
bars.
happy hour? Plenty. What's like the
Of
best
course.
one though? Your favorite?
I am not a drinker myself. However,
Oh my god.
I have heard that Ceroban is, of course, quite the drinker, enjoys plenty of different spirits. He could probably direct you to quite a few nice bars in Naiaj.
Great. The number one expert. No recommendations at all.
I am the number one expert on the culture of Apostae.
That just
Not
sounds like
necessarily
supposed to be-
interacting with individuals on Apostae.
I don't know. All I know is, if I asked what the best bar would be, I would roll a culture check. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not familiar with these culture checks that are rolled, but I'm pointing you to the best person that I know of that would be able to get you to a good bar.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You tried.
I attempted.
So the guy we're meeting is from one house, and then he's taking us to the territory of another house? Is that...
Yes. So you will be meeting Ceroban. He is a member of House Zyzerere. House Zyzerere are the most powerful drow house on Apostae, controlling the majority of surface settlements of Naiaj. They are, of course, demon worshippers and arms dealers like the rest of them, but as far as drow houses go, they are quite reliable because they have a reputation to uphold. Communications like this are bad for the business, or complications. A representative with them, Seoban Zyzera, has always been blunt and upfront with me. How I prefer to handle most of my social interactions. He will, of course, be the one who is introducing you to House Rykast, primarily Dylanistra. Of course, as I mentioned about them, we don't have a lot of information on House Rykast. They are one of the more powerful drow houses on Apostae, controlling the Wrecker's Field and the mobile hospital at the Black Door. They are the sole starship exporters on Apostae as well, but we have little interaction with them.
If we had a name, could you look up which house they belong to? Is that possible?
Quite possibly, yes.
I don't remember his name. Galleon Kerr, something Galleon Kerr.
Galleon Kur. Do you have a first name, perhaps, that could assist me? Avaste. This is not ringing any bells. Of course, it's not pulling up anything in the system
Navante.
either.
Maybe.
Anything more specific you could provide?
Nope.
I haven't found my notebook yet. Otherwise, I would have something intelligent to say.
I presume you're talking about Al Nost, Galleon Cour?
Al Nost. That was kind of
Of course,
close.
yes, that one.
Oh boy, Al
Kinda
Nost.
close.
His friends call him whatever he was saying.
Navante. Friends call him Navante.
Hmm.
It's a little longer, but you know.
Let's see. Al Nost. I don't have any Al Nost in here, but of course, after entering that, I did realize I was misspelling Galleon Cour. It is a very not common name, but spellings are very strange for the Drow. It does appear that he was a part of, possibly, or his family was a part of House Theron Call.
You know anything about that house? Any information you can give us?
I have very little information on House Theron Call. They are
The
no
foremost
longer
expert here.
no longer
Really
listed
good.
as an active house on Apostae.
Oh.
It appears that their rule of areas of Apostae, wherever they may have been, ended quite some time ago.
Okay.
I got just sort of a general question. If you had to pick one house that was most likely to try to kill us, which one would that be?
All of them.
All of them. Okay, it's a tie. That's great. I love that. How
It's a
many
direct- the
houses
draw-
are there?
Oh,
Does that mean-
hundreds.
All of them want
Hundreds.
to kill us, or none of them want to kill us?
That's a
all
great question.
equally would kill you if presented with the right opportunity.
Mm,
But they don't
okay.
have a desire to kill you.
Hmm.
And
Does
then-
that make sense?
That's better than most people we meet, honestly.
Any cultural faux pas?
I would not mention the half-orcs, if I were
Oh.
you.
That's a weird one, but okay.
Well, of course you're not familiar with Apostae, but there are half-orcs that exist on the planet itself. Those orcs are, well, they are troopers, essentially, that are sent out as cannon fodder for when the drow houses fight one another.
Oh. That
And
sucks.
yes, they are. It is Apostae is a strange place, as I've previously mentioned.
Yeah, cool. So if we see half-orcs, probably dare to kill us.
If you see half-orcs, yes, I would run.
Cool, good.
Rather
That's-
quickly.
See, that is some good intel right there.
Well, of course, you were asking about the houses earlier, not necessarily orcs themselves, the half-orcs themselves.
Yeah, sure, yeah. But, like, this
Any other,
type of thing is gonna kill you. That's good. Anything
Yeah,
else?
and any other key signs of danger we should be aware of.
No. It is important that you do not disrespect any of the females in the drow houses. Most
Sir,
houses
how
are
dare you.
run by females in general, and therefore you may be talking to a matriarch, or someone who works for the matriarch. That would be possibly be the worst thing you could do while on Apostae.
Oh, I can think of way worse things, but okay.
I meant, like, culturally speaking. Of course, there are definitely worse things you could do on Apostae, but culturally speaking, I would not dishonor them.
Do they speak common? Or whatever we're speaking right now?
Of course, they speak common. That's what we are speaking now. Yes, of course.
Great,
And they
love
also
that.
speak Drow, and some of them speak Orc. I bet you can guess which ones speak Orc.
Hmm. Okay, that's great. Love that. Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Any other questions that you may have? Do you require any
Do they?
gear or anything, or...
Yeah, I mean, if you got good gear, we'll take it.
I mean, we don't have necessarily good... We have standard gear for stewards.
Is it
Is
standardly
Standard
better than what
gear
I'm
better
using?
than- yeah.
Well, it would be like standard station wear, of course, some AG assault rifles, pistols.
We'll take it all.
Well, you would have to check it out and then check it back in, and that would not be my department. Would you like for me to get in touch with the person that you would need to talk to?
If we potentially checked it out and then never checked it back in, what would happen?
Like, how long do we have to check it back in? So, like,
Why?
we were to check it out, and then we check
There's
it
no
back
late
in
fees,
an
right?
equivalent item
Yeah.
later. Are there tax implications?
Tax implications. I myself am not familiar with how the armory works here.
If I took a
would
gun
say-
out and then I went to a marketplace and sold that gun,
And then within 60 days, gave you a gun back.
A gun. Would it be the gun that had the brand engraved on it for the Bastion and for the Stewards?
I mean,
It was-
anything can have a brand
Sure.
on it. That ain't hard.
This is a very particular brand. It is scanned in and out. Do you think you can achieve this?
I'm an operative, baby. Hell yeah. Not even hard.
Interesting.
they got any really strong armor. Just like so
No,
strong.
just
Se-
usually
sen-
it's
Sense motive. Is this guy is she into it? Like, does she want in on the scheme?
roll me a sense motive check.
she down to play? 20.
Oh.
You don't know for certain, but you get the sense that she's intrigued by the idea you're presenting about taking out
Guys,
weapons,
Guys,
selling
we found-
them, buying new
we found a
weapons, bringing
chaotic
them back.
vehicle.
This is an idea that has never been presented to her in this way, and so she's uniquely intrigued.
Got any healing?
Healing. Of course, you did not receive enough healing in the med bay.
I mean, like portable,
For later.
healing. Like for later when I get injured inevitably. And
Well, you can buy that from anywhere. We don't really carry that here at the Bastion. No, of course not.
You mean of course nobody gets hurt here?
Well, of course we do. We have a medical facility. Did I not mention this?
Yeah, they just bottle up some of the medical.
Put some medical juice in a jar.
I don't even know what that means, but sure, they bottle up the medical. Never heard it said in that
And then
way,
you give
but
it
yes,
to me and
yes,
then I
of course.
drink it in the middle of battle. And then I
Well,
can
that would be
last a little longer.
strange to drink the medical in the middle of battle. And then we're just taking a bunch of equipment, smashing it down, putting it in a blender, and then putting it inside of a vase for you to drink
I
out
mean-
of.
How
That's a
many
good
D8s
idea.
would that give me?
I don't even know what a D8 is, but probably not many. Maybe a D4. Ha!
I ate a bug once and they gave me some. So
Yeah, do you have any
anything's
bugs?
possible.
We do not have any bugs either.
Damn it.
There is, of course, there is a xenoanthropology unit and a xenoarchaeology location that also studies local wildlife. Maybe you could find some bugs there. It's at the
Ooh.
university.
That's some good intel.
Is there anything else you would need to know about Apostae before
Are
departing?
they fond of using pressure plates?
For what purpose?
Traps.
For traps. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think I've ever written anything in Apostae's culture about them being fond of pressure plates for traps.
That is excellent news.
But I
Good
can't
news,
say
so
for certain.
great.
That's kind of a obscure factoid. Of course, if anyone would know it, it would be me. And now, of course, right after you leave, I promise the first thing I will be doing is studying whether or not Apostae and the drow who are there use pressure plates for
You know what?
traps.
I'll tell you what, we will, if there are any on the entire planet, we will find all
We'll
of them.
we'll let you know.
So we will write it down and we will send you that information.
Can you please bring this information back to me? This would
Oh,
help
absolutely.
me move up the ladder, per se.
I mean, we'll
of course,
have
I
to
am a
charge
senior
you for
advisor
the
for
information.
Apostae, but well,
Yeah,
Maybe
aren't you
we can
already
work
the
out a deal.
foremost expert? How is this
I,
going to
yes,
help?
for
You can be the
Apostae.
foremost.
But there are positions above mine, of course, that are not just senior advisors.
This would only give you information on Apostae. I hope you realize that.
Yes, but if I got more information on Apostae, I could then present that to the directors, who would then see that as me doing more research on Apostae, and quite possibly, well, actually, they would see as me having
can move
others
from-
do the research for me. So I'm delegating tasks, in which case I might move to a senior management position.
You can move from foremost to foremostest.
I was gonna say the
Foremostest.
tree-most. The foremost and the tree-most, maybe even the two-most.
Yes.
Uh,
I like this idea a lot.
I was going to say you'd be the formermost.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I will
that's a
never
good
be
one
the
too.
foremost. I will always be the foremost. Always going to be gathering new information and data. And yes, I like this idea. Can you please bring me back everything that you get on the drow using traps,
Sure thing.
using pressure plates for traps, so that I may study this?
You got it.
I'll be able to
Excellent.
form detailed analysis on how bad they hurt.
Excellent. Yes. I like this a lot.
What was her name again?
Her name is Venture Captain Naiaj.
Naiaj.
That is spelled Naiaj. Naiaj.
Great.
Is that all you require?
I think so.
Do you have a
I think
book
so.
that we can read?
A book.
Yeah,
Well,
one of
you-
those travel books.
You know, did you write a thesis or anything on Apostae?
Well, of course, I have some information on a data pad. I could provide you with all of the information on Apostae that the infosphere would have, plus some of my own personal additional notes. Should help provide you with anything you may need upon your arrival.
Do you have any like good books? It's gonna be kind of a long flight.
2 days. It's not a long flight.
It's pretty long.
You'll be fine.
Okay, fine. Sorry I asked.
There's plenty. You have access to the infosphere in basically all of the packed worlds. You can access anything. Feel free to download whatever you need.
Oh, I have your permission. You can't take that back. I have permission to
It
download
would be
anything.
on your own data pad. It wouldn't be on mine, of course, or the steward's data pad.
I'm just saying,
You'll
if
only
they
be
come
getting
after me
yourself
later,
in trouble.
if they
I
say,
think-
hey, you download this thing, I'll be like, hey, I have permission.
I think
Yeah,
that
I
they just encouraged piracy, which is it's affecting Hollywood pretty bad.
Where is this Hollywood you speak of? Because I do like pirates.
Do you?
They are very unique, yes. In fact, some would say that I am the foremost expert on the pirates of Apostae.
You just... Never mind. Never mind.
How many terabytes they got, though?
On the pirates of Apostae?
How many terabytes do the pirates of Apostae have?
How many terabytes? Why, they don't have any. I don't know what that means. Are you talking about data storage? I'm talking
Yeah.
about swashbuckling pirates. They don't have
I mean,
any
there's-
terabytes. They got.
Yeah, there's plenty of
Scimitars.
movies about like Jack Sparrow and stuff, but I'm talking about like
Oh, yes, you're talking about the Pirates of Apostae, the movie. Yes.
no.
That is a unique film, of course, yes.
Whatever.
I'm gonna have to go watch that now. I bet there's a scene in the Pirates of Apostae movie where they use pressure plates as traps.
You know, the third one just wasn't as good as the first.
Ah,
So true.
that's
And
true.
they tried
The
to make a
Pirates.
fourth and it just bombed completely.
The problem is they keep choosing strange locations on Apostae in general. Like, why would they make the Pirates of Apostae the Blood Barracks? That doesn't really make any sense, and it doesn't flow off of the tongue very easily.
It's too long.
That's a very good point, actually.
It would have been much better if they'd have come and talked to me, the foremost expert on Apostae, and I could have told them that the Pirates of Apostae entering the Iron Door would have been a very good title for one of the upcoming films. Or the Black Door, or the Naiaj Door, or the Stone Door. Literally any door into
You like
Apostae.
doors.
Why they chose the Blood Barracks, I will never understand.
So, are there a lot of fancy doors on Apostae?
You really don't know much about Apostae, do you?
I mean, no, I'm not the foremost expert on Apostae.
Yeah, but everyone would know, or should know, about the doors that exist on Apostae.
This was an extremely elaborate and backhanded way to like hand us this information, Aaron.
This was not
The
intended.
doors.
I'm just going with the flow.
So what's up with the doors?
The doors? Well, the doors lead to the interior of Apostae. You know that Apostae is not really a planet, correct?
What?
What?
It's no moon?
Ah. Well, Apostae is in general a planetoid far from the system's major trade routes and mining operations, and it has a largely hollow center filled with thousands of tunnels, taverns, and chambers, that are clearly artificial in nature, many of which are allegedly filled with advanced technology unlike that of any race known to the Pact Worlds. And there are doors that allow you to go into Lower Apostae, but they only open a few times a year, and only a few people are actually allowed in. Most of those who enter never return, so I don't know why people keep going in, but there are treasures in there.
Maybe they're just living their best lives in there, you know?
Could be.
You know, I heard
Could
they
be a
tried to change
utopia.
it. They tried to change it to a planet a couple years ago, and then they changed it back to a planetoid. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I don't understand what they were doing with that. It's planetoid, I get it. It's the 9th planet. You would want to take it out, make it an even 8. I agree. But here we are. Apostae, a planet. Of course, you got Tidari, too. It's the same thing. It also is called a planet or a planet ship. Anyway, Apostae. Foremost expert. If you need anything from me, please feel free to respond. Ask me questions, send me things. I would be more than happy to, as long as you bring me back information about how the pirates of Apostae use pressure plates as floor traps. I will be very excited to understand that. Anyways, good luck on your mission. Should you have any additional questions, please consult your data pads. There's plenty of information on Apostae there. And, good luck.
Well,
And
thanks.
she turns back around and says, Stiri, show me the pirates of Apostae.
Dun, 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 dun.
Music starts playing.
Incredible.
All right.
You could really mention anything about apostate culture and be like, man, I gotta go look into that right now. I gotta go rewatch that,
Pretty much.
research it.
Pretty much. All right. You depart. You have more than enough information on all the things you need to know about Apostae, plus things you don't need to know about Apostae, but you got it anyways.
No, we need to know about the doors. It's important.
The doors I'm not worried about. It's more like, the information about pressure plates and pirates and blood
No, that's
barracks
extremely
and
important. What are you
half-orcs.
talking about?
That's more important than the doors, huh? Frankly.
I mean, we would get there and we would be like, "Oh, look at these doors," and we'd like get it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But like, what are their opinions on floor traps? Now, literally nobody knows.
Yeah.
True. All right. Are you guys going to head straight there, or what do you want to do?
Exactly. The resort tickets don't have a timeline on them, do they?
The resort tickets, the stay starts in about a week.
Oh, okay.
About a week. Okay. We can
And our ship
probably.
will be done in
2
about a
days
week.
there. Who knows how many days back?
It's 2 days there with no way back.
Oh yeah,
Miss
and
our
our ship
resort
is
trip.
still busted.
And you do get, now that you mentioned that, you do get a notification on your data pads with an official invite. It looks like this. If anybody would like to read.
Felicitations! Paradise Resorts is proud to offer you a complimentary 3-week, oh my god, stay at New Elysium, the diaspora-based luxury resort for the discerning vacationer. Pamper yourselves with our sumptuous guest services, including body wraps, massages, and mud facials. Relax in one of our 2 pools, complete with artificial waterfalls. Indulge in the finest food from across the galaxy, and so much more. All at your fingertips with our brand new Keys to Elysium virtual concierge downloaded directly into your comm unit. In addition to picking up the tab for your room, meals, and any other services you indulge in, Paradise Resorts is also holding a grand gala for all our guests on the second night of your stay. Meet and mingle with your peers and maybe make a new friend. Disclaimer, Paradise Resorts is not responsible for any extra fees you might incur, such as expensive consumables, top-shelf intoxicants, portable gear, augmentations, and similar goods.
That was just
Not
purely like an
all-inclusive?
infomercial.
Yeah,
I did my
it's
best.
good stuff.
And the date that you get is actually, it looks like it's like 8 days out. You do have some time here.
So we're 2 days out, two days back.
I mean, also, do we literally have to wait like 7 days for our ship right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like vacation, then this, right?
No, we got a shuttle to get us to Apostae.
Oh, I'm sorry.
not
You're
our
right.
ship.
You're right. You're right.
You are
We
still
can't-
waiting on your
we
ship to be
can't
repaired.
take our ship.
You cannot
Right.
take it to Apostae.
Right,
You have to
right.
take the shuttle.
Got it. Okay. Sorry, that's my bad. Okay.
Well, let's go shopping and then let's hit the road. Hit
the space, as
The
they
space
say,
way?
as we always say,
Mm-hmm.
as the
All right.
common expression goes.
We will just retroactively deal with your shopping. And you guys do all your shopping. You get on board this shuttle that's departing from one of the docks near your ship, actually. And we'll say you swing by. Lisk takes a look at the ship, wanders around all over it, making sure the repairs are going okay, checking for bombs, new
He removes like
compartments.
5 or 6 things that are clearly not bombs, but he swears are bombs.
Yeah, you take them off the ship anyways and just chuck them, jettison out of them into
Absolutely,
space.
yeah, like 5 wrenches, a toolbox.
Yep.
Some guy's lunch, out, gone.
Yep, gone.
Coming off of his shift. He's like, oh, so excited for that tuna fish sandwich.
Those yummy fish tachos. So yeah, you do all that. You get on the shuttle and you head for Apostae. It will be about a 2-day journey. You have some time in tow while you're in this shuttle. Is there anything you guys would like to be doing? This would be your time to look up more information about either of the locations you're going to if you would like to do that.
I guess I'll look up the easiest way to kill a half-orc, since that's apparently gonna come up.
Easiest way to kill a half-orc. Okay. Roll me a... Man, what would be like a... What's a good check for that? Probably a life science check.
Oh. Okay, sure. Oh, it's trained only. Can I even use it then? I have
Probably
0
not.
ranks in it.
That's some pretty in-depth research. But if you shared that information with other people who have life science, they could probably check that for you.
Fair enough. Hey, Doc, what's the best way to kill a half-orc?
What is the best way to kill a half-orc?
Make me a life science check.
Oh, good with that skill.
I'm gonna guess the answer is deal a lot of damage.
21. You would know that half-orcs don't have any specific vulnerabilities. However, based on your research, you do know that half-orcs have what's called ferocity, which means when they get to 0 hit points, they are not dead, and they will continue to act until they are hit for more damage. So the best way to kill a half-orc is continue to hit it until it dies, even if it looks like it should already be dead.
So they're really hard to kill. You probably should just not try and run. That's the best way.
When have you ever noticed
They
to
don't
run
live
away?
very long, so if you just leave and come back in 30
Wow,
years, they
just
won't
wait.
be there anymore.
Don't
30 years.
Isoki not live that long?
I don't remember, actually. That's a good point.
We wait for them to live out their life and die of old age. That's the solution you provided.
Yep.
It'll work. Other things you guys want to research?
I want to look up the house and see if I can find any information on the house. There's like Thrilla something.
Brightcast?
Threllonomicon.
No.
Oh, the old one.
Oh, House
The old
Theron
one.
Call.
Theron Call.
House Theron Call. All right, make me a culture check.
Ooh, 32.
32 on the culture check. Okay. You would know based on your research. There's limited information on what House Theron Call was really. It's an older house, a relatively minor house. Some of the information you're provided say that this house was a house of scrappers and builders. That one of their primary responsibilities was taking the remnants of the Wrecker's Field and repurposing them into Frankenstein ships. Often that's how House Rycast, which controls the Wrecker's Field, would fund itself, was from other houses in and around the Wrecker's Field building ships out of the not often used parts and components from what was in the Wrecker's Field itself. What else would you have known about them? That's a pretty high roll. You would know that the shipbuilders in those yards are called metallurgicon.
Oh.
That's just a term that's used on Apostae, and it means that they are talented enough to be able to use all of these different Frankenstein starship parts and cast, construct, weld, and otherwise fabricate components in order to build starships out of something that was already a starship part. So they'd take something and convert it into something completely different because they are talented enough to be able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably about all you get out of it, though. There's not a lot of information, especially recently. Most of the information you found is at least 100 years old, as far as you can tell. It's just, generally speaking, there's not a lot of info that's new about this house. So you get the sense that it doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
What else?
I think Luna having some downtime finally. Would catch up with. She got pinged by Facultar Taro a while back.
She did.
So she'll shoot off like a quick message, be like, "Hey, been out of touch for a while. It's my bad. Sorry about that. But would love to get in touch. I've got some new material I've been working on, and I know we've been generating a bit of buzz around the Pact world. So would love to get in touch. Just let me know. I have a few days." And then she'll shoot off like an email. All this half-orc stuff is reminding her of her old acquaintance Drogar. She'll fire off an email to like an old S that she has, like the last time she was in touch with him. No idea if it gets there, but like, hey, how are you? Heading to Apostae? Isn't that crazy? LOL. Gonna have a break here and like explain the 3-week vacation coming up and where we're gonna be.
Okay. All right. Those pieces fire off. You don't know how long it's going to take for them to respond, but you're probably about halfway on your journey, so it's going to take a day for them to actually receive it anyways. So we'll wait and see what happens. Anybody else doing any research? Co, Lisk, you guys looking anything up?
Yeah, I'd like to look up the second most expert on Apostae and see if they have any like blog posts about pressure plates usage.
Okay.
And
you
about
look up
how Naiaj is a total crackpot.
exactly. I was just about to say, you look up and you find this website, and it's thetrueapostae.com.
Nice.
And what you find is a whole bunch of information about, one, how Apostae is not actually a hollow planet. It's in fact like a giant generator. It's got a tiny white dwarf star in the middle of it that's generating power. And he also talks a lot about how Naiaj, this person who's quote-unquote the foremost expert, actually knows nothing about the planet itself. The drow are guarding
Man,
this.
I almost believe that at this point. Every question we asked, they were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is specifically geared towards Co. I feel like Co is very firmly in the like conspiracy theory camp.
Oh yeah. I'm feeling it. A lot of what this guy says is that she just doesn't have any idea what they're talking about. The drow are actually guarding a giant secret under Apostae's surface, which they've been doing for years. And that one day his research will show that he is in fact the foremost expert on Apostae, because he will prove that there is in fact a white dwarf star in the middle of the planet. Planetoid.
Right, West.
Great, sounds legitimate.
Yep.
Guess we'll see.
Okay. Lisk, how about you?
You know what? I actually wanted to do a little bit more research on things we might have missed while we were gone. I know we got a little bit, kind of while we were, up in hospital, but, you know, just kind of getting the lay of the land a little better now that we're back in the Pact Worlds.
Okay.
Anything big? How's the stock market doing?
Okay.
My
You see that
investments.
what'd you say?
How are my investments?
You see Abdar Corp's investments are way up. Material costs are skyrocketing. Inflation is very high due to the transportation crisis. In general, a lot of manufacturing facilities around the Pact Worlds are having difficulty getting the supplies they need in order to make the much-needed technological items for both Absalom Station and Abalon, which is where most things are taken. That in general has kind of been the big buzz recently. Before that, you find information about a couple other things that happened in and around the Pact Worlds. One is there's a lot of buzz about this drift rock, which is a giant rock that showed up with a starship right outside of Absalom Station. And a team was sent there to investigate it. Since then, nothing's been heard of from the so-called Drift Rock 5, which includes several names you've never heard, but some rather interesting characters. You look up their profiles, as a matter of fact, and you find a group of people that, well, they don't look like they would make up an actual good crew that could handle something as scary and deadly as a scary rock flying up outside of Absalom Station, but they've definitely done it. And the names you find are a space goblin named Pobble Metal Maw, who is a strange-looking greenish-gray-skinned goblin with one metal tooth. He looks like a tinkerer, and he is only about 2'10", 28 pounds. Very small guy, but part of this crew. You also find a giant Vanguard Vesk named Donatella Vescacci. Very strange-looking Vesk. The notes on this Vesk say that she's from Vesk 3, that her father was lieutenant commander, that there's notes about her loving Skittermanders. Just like a whole bunch of like really abstract and random details. You also find info on this Brennari named Milo Fieldsbottom. He is he's a diplomat. He's an envoy who went to diplomacy school, and his whole goal is peace. Peace, and he wants to be friends with everybody. The fourth profile you get is an android soldier, a really, really super, super old android soldier named Jackie Daytona. Spelled Jackie as normal, and then D80NA, Jackie Daytona.
Excellent.
Somehow, the notes on Jackie Daytona's profile are just that she knows everyone, and that somehow is not a stranger to anyone. Has been involved in everything throughout the Pact Worlds. Just a golden oldie sort of type. And last but not least, you see one other character that there's not a lot of info on, but this is a technomancer gnome named Zara. That's all the info that's listed on her, though. There's very, very limited info. In fact, pictures are kind of fuzzy when you try to look up anything about her.
She's kind of like Bigfoot.
Kind of like Bigfoot.
All right.
And those 5 people are known as the Drift Rock 5. And that's what you've been able to research about their exploits on the Drift Rock. You don't know where they're at, what they're doing, but you know that they were somehow working for Absalom Station / the Starfinders / the Eoxian Embassy, and that they went to the Drift Rock, dealt with some things, and then they left, went to Castrovel. You have no idea what's happened since, but that's all the information that the Drift Rock 5 tracker blog has been able to provide you.
All right. Cool. Sounds like we couldn't take them, which is a shame.
But that's about all you get out of recent things going on in the Pact Worlds. Everything else seems to be fairly normal.
Okay. Nice.
All right. You have a bit more time here. Anything else you guys want to research before you arrive at Apostae? All right.
Yeah,
Nothing
no,
at all, huh?
we got it. We got it unlocked, baby.
Okay. Don't need to know anything about the place you're landing, the houses, nothing else. All right. Cool. Cool. Excellent. Take it. Let me show you
got
the
it.
surface of the planet. Pretty drab, dreary, strange-looking place with a lot of craters. Yeah, it's basically just the moon. Of importance, the place and location you are going to be landing is located right here. It is a bubble city known as Naiaj. The minimal amount of research you've done, which I will give you this one thing, is that it is a metropolis of over 1.2 million inhabitants, most of whom are drow elves. Their society is traditionally matriarchal, but contrary to popular belief, the gender divide is not backed by law. Rather, it is a holdover from pre-Gap times. A drow man with enough contacts, cunning, and wealth may rise to power or positions of leadership, rivaling some drow women in power. However, they do not stay in power for very long.
Because they give up their power, they retire early.
Yeah,
Live nice
early
full
retirement.
lives.
Early retirement.
That's nice. That does sound nice.
So did we? Of course not. Of course, now I'm thinking of questions. Do we like how many houses are there?
You know that there are hundreds
Said
of
hundreds.
houses,
Oh, okay.
but there are like a primary set of houses
Yeah, like a
that are
few
known as the
prominent ones,
major
right?
houses that run Apostae.
So there's Zizera
Zizerair,
and Rycast are big ones.
Rycast is a big house as well. Let me see if I can find the other ones here. Yeah. So the Drow's major houses that you would know of are the Arbani, the Brevak, the Rycast, and House Zizerair. Those are the four main houses. And they control the majority of the locations on Apostae.
All right.
The other thing you would note about Naiaj, the place you're going to land, is the city has a sizable orc and half-orc population, but they are treated as second-class citizens at best and slaves at worst. Most orcs and half-orcs are destined to live and die as mercenaries, or as some drow houses prefer to put it, cannon fodder.
Huh. At least they have a career path.
Luna, what's Luna's diplomacy, just flat bonus? What is it?
Base. Sorry, is it 12? 17.
17. All right. So that's all you'd have gotten out of that, just kind of looking at regular information. You would also probably just notice a couple scraps here and there about the Wreckers Field, which is one of the areas you're kind of going to. That is located down over here. It is about 750 miles from Naiaj. It's quite a journey. You know that it is an enormous, basically unregulated junkyard of failed experiments, gutted prize ships, military scrap, mothballed vehicles, and hundreds of other kinds of remnants of buildings, robots, starships, and weapons. You also know, just from your base bonus there, that whenever a drow house ship is so damaged that it makes more economic sense to scrap it than repair it, new advances in technology make a battalion of hover tanks obsolete, or a building is torn down and its ruins need to be disposed of. The discarded materials end up in the Wreckers Field. Most of the minor houses that control specific sections of the junkyard operate under the vigilant gaze of House Rycast.
And we can't get any more information on House Rycast, it sounds like.
You don't know a lot about the house. I'll let you roll a diplomacy check if you would like.
In terms of like who's in charge and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe a diplomacy check.
8.
Jeez.
39.
39. Wow. Okay, so House Rycast is in charge of two notable locations. One is the Wreckers Field, and the other location they are in charge of is known as the Black Door, which, if you look on the map, is towards the bottom. There's a small outcropping near a crater. That is the Black Door, which is one of the entrances to the underside of Apostae. You also have read a couple things about... There's various leaders, per se, of House Rykast, but the one who is of notable hierarchy that runs the Wrecker's Field is known as Dylanistra Rykast. And any information you would find on her is just that she's kind of a rebel, but little's known of her responsibilities within the house other than looking over the Wrecker's Field. Okay. All right, so you guys are approaching Apostae, and as your shuttle gets close to the outskirts of the dull gray planetoid, several fighters emerge from a hulking capital ship that your AI automatically identifies as part of the local defense fleet, the Blood Armada. The fighters whiz like a swarm of angry wasps. The navigation computer lets out a blaring alert as the capital ship scans the shuttle, but soon after, the alert ends and the fighters fly back to the massive carrier. The shuttle you guys are in descends to a low orbit, and several small settlements with sealed atmospheres come into view. Further out, beneath clouds of dust, several mile-wide blast doors, many large craters and miles-deep crevices can be seen across the planetoid's surface. The shuttle soars closer to Apostae's surface, fast approaching the dark city of Naiaj. The eponymous arch and various tower houses can be seen within the city limits, and Naiaj's vast spaceport is alive, with hundreds of blinking red and purple lights which guide the shuttle to the gloomy capital of the Drow. And you land at this spaceport. Immediately upon exiting the ship, there are 2 Drow guards standing there, waiting on you to exit. They point towards a small transport vessel, and they just stand there with their hands pointed towards the vessel. They are also currently holding what looks like a giant halberd.
Hello, my name's Ko. What's your name?
He just kind of, the one closest to you just kind of grunts, like...
I've
And
not
points.
heard that name before. It's rather unique. Short, though. Easy to pronounce.
He picks up his halberd and he puts it basically across his chest. And then he takes the halberd and he taps the side of the transportation vehicle with it. And the door kind of opens up. Kind of like a DeLorean. It's like one of those side doors.
Or to the past.
That's right,
They
baby.
not talk. They
We
can't
need,
talk.
we need to get those 30 hours back.
It's true.
I'll hop in. Is
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
convinced.
hop in the transport.
Okay.
there anybody in there?
Nobody in. The guards do hop in the seats behind you. They're
Oh,
like,
this is awkward.
they enter from the, like, almost the back of the vehicle. And the doors shut. And you travel through a labyrinth of air-filled enclosed tunnels to a building known as Miles Shadow. It is a tall corporate building owned by House Zyzerer. You can see the label right on the front in big letters, Zyzerer. You guys enter the building. You're still escorted by these 2 guards, and they lead you to an elevator that takes you upstairs to on one of the top floors of the building, where you enter the office of Seobarn Zyzerer. And you can see his, again, name tag is kind of on the door emblazoned in dark letters. And as you step in, the guards kind of open the door in front of you, and you see a spacious office on the top floor of this building. And without a hint of emotion, the same drow that grunted at Ko earlier just says, "Wait here," and then shuts the door behind you.
No.
Can speak. That's good to know.
The green-tinged windows in the room offer a majestic view over the gloomy night arch. Several statues and holographic devices depicting grinning fiends sit on shelves on the walls and on a dark wood desk at the far end of the room. A curious fixture reminiscent of a demonic spider looks down from the ceiling with many glistening eyes. And the room is dimly lit currently, but there is no one else in the room with you.
Is there anything valuable in here?
Make me, you're just kind of looking around in the room?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're touching some things, looking around, see if there's anything, but nothing. Most of it looks like trinkets or collectibles. Nothing that you would find as like valuable to you. Nothing that you could potentially sell. But as you're looking around, you're seeing a bunch of very strange-looking trinkets, objects. And make me either a culture or a mysticism check. It does not matter.
I think you'll find it matters up
Yes,
there.
matter.
Okay.
23.
A lot of these statues and holograms that you are seeing depict the different aspects of the demon lord Abraxas.
It's always demons with us.
Oh, yeah. Very strange-looking space. And as you're looking around, the door opens, and another
touching
drow
nothing.
enters. He notices that you are touching things.
I didn't. It wasn't me. I just said it. Can't prove it.
He doesn't do anything. He just sort of walks towards his desk, and he just does two things immediately. The first thing he says is he looks right at you, and he says, "I am Seoban Zaizare." And he waves his hand, and up on the ceiling, this demonic statue starts moving its arms slightly, and all of a sudden it's emanating this purple glow illuminating the room. And he follows that up by saying, "I take it that your eyes haven't adjusted to the light levels on Apostae. You are Naiaj's stewards, correct?"
Thus,
"Ah, of course. She spoke to me of the fugitive and your purpose here. Interesting, though dull. This fugitive must have done something awful to warrant the four of you to come all the way out here, And
only killed 100 people on a small mining outpost, but
I see. And as he's like listening to you, he's nodding, but he's also kind of picking up all of the objects that he saw Lisk was touching, and he just examines them for a second, and then with extreme care places them back in the exact same position that they were sitting in the first place.
Yeah, I know. They were like that when we got here. I don't know. I think
Oh,
someone
of
else
course.
moved them. Yeah,
Nothing wrong with investigating. Listen, I'll warrant that this fugitive has a good price on his head. House Zaizare has eyes and blades everywhere. Why should I not just resolve this situation myself?
did we get a cover story for that?
You did not. They kind of threw it together as fast as they
Sure.
could for you.
Well, that might absolve some of the pain of the victims of said crimes, but which completely blanking on the name of the station.
Absalom?
On Absalom Station, we value justice and bringing said person to justice, so much prefer to bring alive than dead.
Of
course.
Of course. But, what was Naiaj thinking? Sending no drow or elves on a recovery mission to Apostae. I see a giant bird, Lashunta, and 2 Yasokis. This doesn't... You won't fit in here. Stand out like an eyesore.
Well, we don't necessarily need to fit in, we just need to find the man, don't we?
Finding the man. You can tell rather quickly that he is not convinced that you are going to be the best tool to extract this person from Apostae.
Well, he's a tool if he thinks that. Got him.
So, in order to entice him, you will need to do basically one of 2 things. Looking around the room, you can tell that he really likes like some of these trinkets you've seen. They may not be valuable to you, but they are hard to acquire, which means that he is a man of very particular tastes, and that money probably speaks volumes to him. The other way you can convince him that you are the correct tool to do this job is that you would have to literally convince him utilizing some of your capabilities of communicating both through diplomacy and other skills that you may possess. So, in an
I'll
effort
just
to do
shoot
so,
him.
yeah,
It's easy.
okay, all right.
I'm not
You're gonna pull
actually
out a
going
gun?
to shoot him.
Okay,
No.
you're not gonna shoot him. All right, I was really excited there for a second.
That was
We were
a
gonna go
joke.
down a
No.
dark road.
Would have been funny, but
It would have been.
not worth all that.
Okay. All right, so here's how this works. You can attempt up to 6 checks against this guy.
Okay.
You need to get a certain amount right. I'm not going to tell you how many it is, but you need to get a certain amount right in order to succeed with him and convince him that you are the right people for this job. The rules of this, I will call it a game, is that you cannot use the same skill more than once. The most relevant skills you would be able to use to convince him that you are the right people to find this murderer, this fugitive, are bluff and intimidate, culture, diplomacy, mysticism, perception. There's different things you can use. Other skills, maybe not as useful. For instance, if you decided to just do backflips and somersaults off his desk. I mean, there's a chance he could be convinced, but likely not. So, you're going to have to make multiple of these checks in a row. How would you like to proceed? What would you like to say to him to convince him? Or how would you like to attempt to convince him that you are the right people for this job?
You probably... We're not really supposed to talk about it, but we just got back from Aslanti space where we extracted quite high-value asset from a highly guarded prison, so I think we're more than capable.
Okay. Make me a diplomacy check.
Yes, sir. Mine.
He looks at you and he just kind of smirks and then scoffs, and he says, plenty more than capable of handling a single fugitive. Of course, I could overlook this and, let you handle some parts of this operation for a few credits.
Bluff him, Alex.
Yeah, I'll say, like, did Luna fail to mention that it was an incredibly secure facility and we had absolutely no problem whatsoever getting in and out? Not even a toenail or any. We didn't lose a single point of health, stamina even.
Make me a bluff check.
All right.
29.
Well,
It's not bad still.
Okay. He looks from Luna to you, and he kind of like raises his eyebrows a little bit, and he says, not without a single problem, eh? Able to get out of a prison with no issues. Most of Apostae is like a prison. Keeps people here on the planet. It would be good for you to have that type of experience. I can understand how coordinating with the stewards may boost House Zizer's reputation for escaping and for providing access to spaces in which, well, some of the other houses may not be able to handle situations as effectively. You've achieved 1 success.
Let's go!
Let's do something stealthy.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna... While they're talking, I'm gonna try to just sort of, like, kind of fade into the background. Like,
Okay.
I don't know if there's anywhere to, like, hide. I don't want to, like, just crouch under his desk really good.
Show him that you're holding his watch now.
Yeah, like, my plan is, right, my grand plan is, like, kind of slink back into the shadows, like, don't worry about us not blending in. And then someone else makes a check, and then I just appear behind him holding something, like, from his desk. It's my grand plan here.
All right.
So
all
I'll
right.
start with the stealth check,
Okay,
which
let's see
I
the
will
stealth check.
just take 10 on. So it's a 32.
32. he is absolutely startled by you holding up a little tiny statue of Abraxas. And he just goes, "Oh, good God, that was stealthy-like. I see. So you are capable of sneaking, even though you aren't drow. Okay, this could be possible after all. Maybe you could make your way into the Wrecker's Field undetected. You've achieved 2 successes.
Let's go. Quick, heal something.
Yeah.
Heal something.
I've got nothing.
I will tell you that that check was a much higher check for what it's worth, so keep that in mind, because it is not something that is probably in the normal convincing of a skill. Things like, again, bluff, intimidate, culture, diplomacy, perception, profession, sense motive, things like that.
In profession, I'll play a song.
Maybe this will change your mind.
A musician, huh? Okay, sure, I'll let you try that one. Sure, if you want.
No.
Okay. You've done 3 checks. You've succeeded on 2. How else would you like to try and convince this man?
Would he be impressed by sick piloting skills?
Does anyone have Intimidate?
I have Intimidate.
I have Intimidate, but it's a +8.
I mean, I have +15.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of what I expected.
I have 15 Intimidate. We already used Bluff.
Oh, we did use Bluff.
I have...
Let me give you. I'll give you a gimme on this because I think that this is the way this is written. Everybody can make me a perception check while you've been moving around the room.
Their good skill is sense motive, but I don't think that
Nice.
applies here.
Nice roll, Co. Holy.
Hey,
Wow.
Lamau,
Nice.
let's go.
All right, so while Lisk was sneaking around the desk, you noticed that the search phrase, quote, "how to track a Kasathan," end quote, was visible on his computer screen, which indicates that he is not as adept or resourceful with regards to eyes and blades as he says. What do you say to him?
That's a great question. Can I'll just hit him with well, as I'm sure you're aware, the best way to track a Kasathan is, and I would like to bust out some Kasathan. I must know something.
Yeah, okay, all right. So
As we all know, Kasathan are great burrowers.
just presented with some facts that are just completely irrelevant. Okay,
Well, you know, just try to bombard him with a bunch of stuff that's I'm clearly an expert on tracking Kasathans.
He just kind of nods and he just says, "Interesting. It is quite different from the research I was doing. However, I am not, resourceful on Kasathans as you seem to be. Makes sense that you might be better at tracking this fugitive than I." 3 successes.
Let's go.
Nice.
You have 2 more checks. What would you like to do?
Man, looking at y'all's character sheets makes me feel so bad about my skills.
Man,
Well,
your
if it makes you
character
feel
sheet is
better,
so-
none of mine are relevant right now.
You can probably bust out something you're good at.
I forewent Constitution for Intelligence, so I'm much squishier than you.
Your survivability is way higher than everybody else's. That's the offset benefit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have Intimidate. I have Culture is probably my best roll left. Other than sense motive.
Definitely culture is gonna be real good, I think.
Yeah.
You guys have 70 and 91 skill ranks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 28.
You 28! Oh my god!
So low.
what's a culture angle?
Yeah,
One angle you could, and this kind of gives me like a, I guess kind of like I have like a prompt here kind of that you could utilize. Make me the culture check or the culture roll first, and then I'll give you this if you succeed.
I guess that's fair. Like usually when you, because like if I make a really convincing argument and then I roll bad, it's not as convincing.
You didn't roll bad.
Oh my gosh.
All right, what you could do for culture, you could maybe posit to him that dealing with a fugitive in the territory of another house could potentially make House Caesarea look afraid.
Right, that's right. Because yeah, so like, we have some information that he's might be around the Wrecker's Field, which I understand is House Rycast, and might not be the best tact for you.
This is true. If the mission failed, it would bring shame and possibly internal upheaval amongst the minor lords of the houses under House Caesarea. It might be in our benefit to let the stewards handle that portion. Yes, I do agree. 4 successes? Well done. One more check.
What? Okay, so
we have to do 6, and we don't know how
I will
many we
do
need.
Yeah, you've done 5 so far. You've gotten 4 successes. What were you saying, Caleb?
As a student of anesthesiology, it'll be my job to keep him well sedated, this violent criminal. On our return journey, you know.
Have you seen my thesis?
Okay. What would I make you roll for that?
I was hoping medicine, but
I can let you roll medicine, or you can do what professions are you?
I think my profession is just doctor.
Okay, I'll let you roll either one of those.
It's definitely medicine.
Okay.
Haven't been throwing ranks into profession doctor, have you?
31.
Nice.
31.
Keep him sedated. Yes. That way, of course, he doesn't escape again, which could then again cause shame and possibly internal upheaval and issues with our relationship with the stewards. Yes.
Exactly, yes. You're all over it.
Very well. It is true that this situation is best dealt with by the stewards themselves. On behalf of House Caesarea, I grant you 72 hours of diplomatic immunity. Use this time to retrieve the fugitive using whatever means you deem necessary. At this point, he kind of turns around. He's not looking at you anymore. He's looking at the wall, like at his out his windows at the city of Naiaj. He says, I will forward you a document that proves you're permitted to access these regions outside of Naiaj. If the situation requires it, kill this Sindri. But rest assured, if you abuse the permissions I have granted you, there will be consequences. The Drow, after all, never forget. Do you understand?
Like elephants.
yes, we understand like elephants.
Must be a packed world saying. I know the Wrecker's Field well enough to know that both the inhabitants of the grounded starships and House Rycast themselves will not be welcoming to you. The more you know, the less likely you are to walk into a trap. So use your 72 hours wisely. I will set up a meeting with Dylan Astra Rycast tomorrow at the Grave Shack, a local establishment outside of the Wrecker's Field. I'm certain she will have questions for you, as all Drow distrust outsiders. But you have official paperwork and a clear mission from the stewards. In order to aid you, I can provide you with a few additional resources. As it will take you a while to get to the Wrecker's Field, first, I will send you coordinates to an inn called The Scrib. I have contacts there that can set you up with beds so you will not have to sleep outside. Ask for Mezkaluth. Second, and each of these are your successes, by the way, so keep this in mind, what you would have gotten had you not succeeded. Second, I've also set you up with enhanced infosphere access during your time on Apostae. As the Wrecker's field is ever-changing, current data should help you traverse it easier. And in the spirit of cooperation with the Stewards, I'll provide you with my personal all-terrain transport to take you to House Rykast territory and back.
Oh, man.
I don't use it much anyways, as most of my time here is spent in Naiaj.
We get a Mako?
You get a what?
That's you don't know Mass Effect.
I do not know
There.
Mass Effect. Sorry.
Shame.
I should go play them all so that I can start implementing Mass Effect things into this
Yeah,
campaign.
can you do that before next week,
Yeah.
Very
please?
important.
We'll do. We'll do. All three of them.
Thank you.
That is all that I can provide you. But remember that before the time is up, you must locate this fugitive, apprehend or kill him, and most importantly, get off my planet. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to attend to.
Oh, one last thing. Liskia's
Yes.
really hoping to partake of your great drinking houses here on Apostae. But if you had any recommendations.
Of course, of course. Right next to this building, you will find an establishment called the Blood's Best Flagon.
Oh my god.
In it, you will find some of Naiaj's most intriguing drinks. Pick your poison, though pick it wisely. Some may actually kill you. And down the street, you can find another of my favorite establishments. It is known as the Knight's Cube. It is what we would call a fancy establishment. Some would call it a speakeasy. Make sure if you step foot into that establishment, you mention my name, and be prepared to pay some hefty prices. It is, after all, some of the more exclusive mixologists in Naiaj's capital.
All right.
Now,
Thank you. Appreciate you.
please excuse me. I must get back to my work. The drow will escort you to my all-terrain transport. Good luck. And he will wave you out the door. And we're going to leave it right there for next time.
You know what we should have done? You know how
What
we
should
have
we
those
done?
things that let us disguise ourselves as a different race that we used to disguise us as Lanny?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should have disguised as Drow.
You could have.
And
Could've.
just do
Should've.
the prison thing all over again.
Yeah,
Could have.
Prison 2.0.
we put Twig in a box. That's
You were,
step one every time.
You were definitely one success away from getting something rather interesting that you will miss out on.
Yeah, so you need 6 of 6, huh?
Yep, you have to get 6 of 6 if you want
That's
everything.
hard.
And it's just my typical diplomacy
Yeah.
rolling.
Right. It's like the one skill, one of your best skills.
Yeah, plus
Yeah.
17, I get an extra d6. Nada.
Nah,
Still can't
can't
do it.
succeed.
The struggle. Yeah, so yeah, you got 5 of 6. Maybe when this small part's over, I'll tell you what the 6th thing was, because it's rather interesting. But you got 5 of 6. You got probably the most important one, which was securing some sort of transportation between here and the Wrecker's Field. Because otherwise, you're kind of left with not a lot of options. And 750 miles is a long ways to go. So, but yeah, I don't know. This is going to be an interesting side quest, I guess we'll call it, for you guys to see what's going on here. Made a lot of interesting characters.
How far off was 25?
1.
Oh, no.
Man.
Mulligan.
And that was a 5 on the D20 and a 1 on the D6.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Cool,
Uh-huh.
cool.
Yeah.
Great.
That,
Everyone else rolled so high, even on the checks that are like everything else was that was outside of the main, 6 or 8 skills was a +4. But every time you guys rolled on any of those skills, you rolled a 30 plus, so it didn't even matter.
Yeah.
I think for the future, Abe, I think that because I play a envoy in the other campaign, the description of the thing that gives you that D6, it says that you can roll the D20 and then either choose to roll it again or roll the D6.
What?
It's not an expertise talent?
Isn't it?
I thought
it
that
was
was
in
one
there
of the
somewhere.
talents.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But
Yeah, select customer. When you attempt a diplomacy check, you can choose not to roll your expertise die until later. After you determine what the check's result would be, you can either roll your expertise die or
that
forego
is
the
what I'm
expertise die and re-roll.
Nice. Okay.
But that's a talent.
Homework for next week. By the way, does everybody want to play next week? Is everybody gone, busy, available? It is
right.
Labor Day.
Labor Day.
I wasn't sure what the plans were for everybody.
I should be around.
yeah.
I'm good.
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
To go.
All right. I will be out the 12th, so we'll play next week, and then we'll plan on taking a break, and then be back on the 19th.
Sweet.
Homework though for next week. Anything you want to buy on Absalom Station? Figure it out. Let me know.
Are there any limitations?
Not really,
Oh, yes.
because the way this is written is normally things are available up to a certain point. I think. Hold on. Let me make sure that there is a level limitation, but it's pretty high.
Okay.
Should have taken those expertise talents though, Alex, because they're more useful than the ones I did take.
Yeah, I think I have it on my envoy, which is why I thought it was a base thing.
Yeah. I take rerolls for granted. I should value them more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Major metropolitan areas like Absalom Station have a max level purchase of an item of your level +2.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can buy some pretty high level items.
Good luck even affording
Level
something like
9.
that.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be expensive, but there's potential if you guys pooled money, maybe you could buy one thing for one
Yeah.
person.
I will say right now, if anyone wants this pistol Liska's been using, in leveling up, I was looking through my class features, and I don't think I can use this.
Oh.
What is
I
it?
don't think I can use unwieldy weapons.
Oh, you've been using an unwieldy weapon with your trick attack?
Mm-hmm.
Good thing you
Yeah.
really haven't been hitting in the last, 6 sessions, so...
I mean, that is true. It's
It
also,
actually
I mean, it's the
didn't
difference
change
from
anything.
a D6 to a D8.
That's probably why you haven't been hitting, is because you were using an
'Cause
unwieldy weapon.
Yeah, because I was cheating without realizing it.
Mhm.
Okay. Shopping. Trying to think if there was something else, too, that I needed you guys to do, but I don't remember what it is. If I
Level
remember,
up to
I'll let you
8.
know. Oh! Yeah, level up to 8.
Level up to 8, yeah.
If you haven't watched the backstory stuff, there's a couple things that might be of interest because of the upcoming parts in this story. So you may want to go back and listen to some of the content that I sent, just as kind of a refresher. I know we've had 32 sessions, and so there's a whole bunch of crap packed into this, but those pieces are, well, at least some of them may come into play here soon.
We gotta listen to our own content?
I know.
You serious?
It's freaking awful, isn't it? Can't believe I would suggest something.
Unbearable, honestly.
I know. Also, Alex reminded me that the first one that we did was over 11 minutes long, the story. So,
Because I write a lot. Was mine the first one?
I don't think yours is.
No. The first one is the original Discord and Signal story.
Like episode 1.
Oh, right.
Also,
Got a little blurb.
I did want to mention this only because it could be beneficial to you to ask. None of you really mentioned the ship that you guys saw outside of Nakandis or the Signal at all
Right.
to the stewards.
That was like legitimately over a year ago, right?
I did
Like IRL.
forget.
If you remember, it is not the only time that you have encountered that signal. One thing we did not talk about was in your trip from the Star Empire to the Pact Worlds, one of the things that played over the klaxons was a very similar sound. I don't know if you heard it while we were actually going through, but another reason you should listen to those, because it may bring some context to some things that are going on. Plus, the stewards may have some additional answers for you. You just didn't ask the last time you talked to them. So, just wanted to give you that little helpful little tip there, in case you want to, pull on those strings.
Engage with my story, please.
You don't have to. It'll engage with you before long anyway, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be back in a week and see what happens on Apostae. See you guys next time.